Howdy, folks. Welcome to Adventures in Oberon Courts of Everest. I'm Joe Treff, your DM this evening, and joining me are my friends Matt, Vincent. Oh, gosh.
Hi.
It's Tina's, because Tina's not here.
Oh, right.
Kara, Hannah, and Alana. Why would it be your fault? You're where you're supposed to be.
Immediately as we started, I mortally wounded Kara with my words, and now I feel really bad.
So behind the scenes for Mosaic Team 5, Ari, who sits over here, every time that we're counting in, just goes, or some other random thing, or swears, or says something very inappropriate. And so versus that, this is way easier.
Yeah, okay.
But very ominous music for our start. Let me bring it a little bit more upbeat. I was doing sound tests and I forgot. I just left it on.
I feel ominous about what we're heading into.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just a goblin camp. What can go wrong?
What can go wrong?
All right, much more upbeat. We're going to play some D&D tonight, but before we do, a couple quick announcements. First of all, we played Mosaic Team 5 last night, our original Starfinder campaign. It was a dance-off. That was most of the episode, and it's definitely worth watching. It is going to be on YouTube at Oberon RPG at noon on Sunday, followed by this at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a website, alberonrpg.com. We also have Instagram, where you can see whatever is on our table at the moment. Cupcakes, fewer than yesterday. There are a few survivors, but not many.
Nom nom nom.
Yeah, but at alberonrpg. And I think with that, that's all the announcements that we have. It's nice and crisp this week. Although hopefully we will be getting some new lighting, and that's going to be really nice to see that next week. Thank you. It is the support from Twitch that allows us to do that. And so without any further ado, we'll play this session of Courts of Everest. Wandering Hearts.
Wait, but there's
Last we played. Man, things are so scary when you guys aren't here. Wandering Hearts. Last that we played, you tumbled into a cave, or had tumbled into a cave, with your kobold guides after wandering into the upper dark from the overhead path that you had taken through the Candlestick Forest on your way to fight or otherwise face the Coven of Unrest, a group of hags who had beset the area. You fought against the psionic mauler that snuck up behind your kobold guide named Numlock and tore them in half. You discovered that this thing had been augmented in some way to fight not just with the scythes on its arms, but with psionic energy as well. After defeating this creature, you gathered Numlock up for the Lord to protect within a bag and went further into these caves. You followed Toes, who was not quite as adept as Numlock in navigating the warrens, and eventually came upon the Grungle Bungle Boys camp, a group of goblins who found themselves in the service of an entity known as the Celloscioscene. You began this fight by sneaking up, Ori getting very close underneath the tower, almost expertly infiltrating, but then an unfortunate attempt to use a crowbar as a grappling hook versus I thought you had a grappling hook.
No, I didn't.
Somebody has the equipment.
I have a climbing kit.
There you go. Valis has the equipment.
I went there and talked to Stabby Stu.
That's true.
I still would have used it in that scenario though, but
I was more
Not being proficient with crowbars as climbing equipment, you clanged this thing off the tower, blowing this incredible attempt at stealth and plunged your group into combat against something like 16 goblins, 3 wargs, and a variety of other implements at their disposal. It was fine. You rolled in and just cleared house with these goblins. First of all, with Valis animating stones, proving like a private army against one of the flanks, you charged into one of the others with Ori slowly ascending the tower with some difficulty, but eventually making it up and using the advantageous height to rain fire down on the goblins below. You were able to prevent any of them from fleeing, and managed to, Ori actually, sink a bolt into one of these individuals as they fled, dumping their treasure chest over, revealing a cluster of crystals. You went through this camp, investigating the elements that they had left behind within these buildings of peculiar construction. You found a couple of things, but upon investigating the bodies, you turned one of them over and pulling the shirt up, Billy, I believe, perhaps Billy or Cheshire, I can't remember who.
Somebody.
There was a separate face and mouth lolling open and dead upon the torso itself. And that is where we begin the scene.
It was Cheshire. She was looking for.
I believe I'm still at the top of the tower. I don't think I have descended yet.
Okay.
Billy's worst enemy is a rock.
Because I was keeping eyes out, I believe, for any other activity coming. But it was underneath me.
So, sorry, I caught up to that a little late. This is more intense than I was going for here.
Feels appropriate because face on chest.
It does.
Icky.
Maybe
Icky.
it's like a... Well, hey. Maybe it's a nice face.
Hi guys. No, it's a dead face. It's a goblinoid face. And as Cheshire kind of pulls the shirt up, this disgusted face just crosses and then invisible. The goblin body drops to the ground and is just kind of there. But you see this secondary face just across. Somebody had gone into the chief's hut.
I had.
The chief's hut is the tent?
All I
Yes.
remember is that I was gonna, but maybe you beat me to it.
I was also gonna.
So
People were
no
looking.
worries.
We can go
Allison,
together.
We hold hands and
you're
skip
making
it.
your way over there. And so for the two of you, while this is happening, you push open the doors to this hut, or not really the doors, the flaps. And there's a number of different pelts here. Some of them you might be able to recognize as elements of cloaker skin. Many others, furs of different kinds. Some of them a peculiar kind of leather that's like a purplish kind of cast to it. But there's a huge pile of furs within this as well. These are a little bit softer in nature. It's probably large enough to be a bed for like a human. There are wooden chests that form like a ring around the periphery of this tent, and it's where the bits of fabric have been tucked in to kind of create some structural stability. But they're also being used to hold a number of different structures, which look like prize structures to this goblin. On one of them, there's like a rough copper pendant. You can see a little doll. There's a bunch of little knickknacks. What are you looking for here?
Do any of the knickknacks appear to be magical in nature?
Make an Arcana check.
I will. Oh, thank you for that new rolling thing. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. The dirty 20, you look over, and the first thing that you notice is there is a bottle that looks like a potion. And with a 20, as you pick it up and you swirl it around, it's this stormy looking liquid that looks almost like clouds. And when you shake it, there's a vibration and a rumble to the bottle itself that reminds you of Thunderstep in a way. But not quite Thunderstep. You get the idea that drinking this will enable whoever drinks it as a bonus action to belch thunder. It is
So goblin-y.
Go on.
very goblin-y, yeah. Aside from that, you see that there's a mummified, what looks like maybe a possum. It's had some small leather wings nailed onto it. At first, you're like, "Oh man, it looks a little bit like res," but it's very much just a atrocity of taxidermy. You find a wooden box that is filled with a number of dried wildflowers, but they're not magical. There's a little glass bottle with a dead ladybug inside. The potion is really the only thing that's magic.
I pocket it.
Okay.
Oh, but I wrote belch fire. That's way cooler than belching thunder.
I mean, Belgians are still pretty cool too.
Well,
Can I see the bag of holding for a second? I want to take these pelts.
Yeah, sure. Do you want help? They look heavy.
No, I got it.
Okay. And I just hold the thing open as I have
And I'll
done for
just-
Billy in the past.
Start taking the pelts. You said there are like lots of different pelts, right? So I
Soft
figured-
ones that are like forming like a bed, and then if you remember that tent, it's like a number of other pelts that have been stitched together. So there's like a covering that is more like leathery kind of stuff, and then there's a interior kind of bed that is just furs thrown down.
Oh,
Very
the tent
roughly
is made out of pelts.
also
it's not,
true.
It's not like pelts on stands ready to be crafted. Right?
No.
Oh, I misunderstood.
But the soft pelts, though?
You could make something with them, but they're not like preserved. They've had the skin and flesh scraped away. These will slowly kind of shrivel up over time and fall apart if they're not, preserved in some way otherwise.
Oh, okay.
How soft are the soft ones, though?
At the moment, quite.
Quite soft. Okay. Do we want these? I mean, they seem soft. Look.
Rawhide.
I mean, in the most literal of terms.
Are they?
10.
Yeah. Okay.
Elena
well,
goes over and
maybe
kind of
not.
squishes. And when you press down, they're soft, but there is a definite squish to the bed that's it's surprising.
Ooh, worst waterbed of all time.
Hey, if there's a
Firmer than
squish,
that.
I would like to lift up the soft pelts and see what the bed is on.
Sure. You pull elements of this away.
curiosity.
They're a little bit damp because these have been freshly harvested at some point within recently. But yeah, why are you?
Why
eating
am
right
I
now?
eating? It's so disgusting. Sorry.
More pressing, as you pull one after the other away, you recognize that there is a shape that is kind of forming underneath these. When you take the last one away, it sticks a little bit and it makes this as it kind of pulls away, and there's goo that separates from this goblinoid face. And as you pull it away, it is one face and then this like really thin neck that the bone's almost extending away. And then there are 6 more faces that just stretch down.
Nope.
And you can see there are these glyphs that are like carved into it. And though this creature is dead and has been dead for a long time, you don't even need a check to tell that. It's still bleeding from these little glyphs.
Nope.
A very little bit, but it kind of seeps into the ground here and forms the mud, which is this kind of giving material underneath these pelts.
What do the? I mean, first of all, what do the glyphs look like? Like, do I recognize the language? Do I recognize the nature of the magic? Anything like that?
Do you have tongues up?
If I see that it's language but don't know what language it is, well,
Make a flat intelligence check. Make a flat
resources.
intelligence check.
You know what? I don't know if I would use up a spell slot on this, but 15.
15. Okay. And howdy, Talon. With a 15, as you look at this, you squint, and it's like as you try to focus in on one particular symbol, the flesh kind of wriggles a little bit and it begins to bleed more. And you don't really want to look at it, but it doesn't seem like language. This is something very weird.
I'm going to say to Val. I'll be like,
I take a deep breath. Divine sense.
yeah. I was
Okay.
gonna say, what do you make of this?
So divine sense.
You smell a lot of gross.
Your divine sense tells you it is.
It just sharpens all of your senses
Yeah,
100
that's
times.
That's where his divine shines.
Nose for death. All right, divine sense. Give me 1 second here. I just want to make sure I have.
I just sense anything affected by the hollow spell. Celestial fiend undead within 60 feet.
By the what spell?
Hollow? Like hollow ground?
Oh, hallow.
So,
Hallow, thank you.
important part of that text. As with the hollow spell, this is not affected by the hollow spell, but the effect is very similar. As you use this ability, you focus and this pulse of energy goes out. There is just a darkness to this that is unlike anything you've ever seen. It's not undead. It's not fiendish. This is something that is other, and you're not quite sure how to read that, but this is something that is just wrong. It doesn't even really kind of pick up within that divine sense.
Maybe we should see if anybody else in the group can make anything of this.
Yeah, and if they can't, then maybe we should set fire to this abomination and move on.
Love that. I will be right back. I'm gonna go out, and the first person I will look for is Billy.
Minka at this point is also dragging that chest that she found and she couldn't interpret out from that little stone thing out into the bigger area.
Yeah, sure.
Tori's just sitting up in the tower watching everyone milling about, just keeping an eye on
And remind me, which of those two
sky being like-
storehouses had you found that in?
Yes, I found it in the one that was made of stone and closest on the right-hand side, the same side as the tent.
Okay,
The
same
one
side
that
as
the three little guys
Yes.
came through.
But specifically not little guy.
Yes.
No. He is safe.
So you pull
probably
this
gnawing
chest
on some
out.
of those,
No problem.
Soft.
The chest of unidentified objects.
Why
with
you
a bunch
gotta
of
go there?
symbols on it that were seemed important, but I couldn't figure out what they were.
Yeah, for sure. You pull this out. Alina, you go out there. You see Billy, who is kind of, I imagine.
Billy was in the other building, but like kind of walked in and was like, and then walked back out because I
Boring.
rolled real low on my perception.
Yeah, I mean, just a bunch of vegetables and things like that.
Yeah, fuck that. And Billy's probably walked out and kind of like kicking over corpses looking for anything interesting.
Okay. Kick over corpses. Make an investigation check at disadvantage because you're just kicking them over. You can make it flat. That's a joke. Take the higher of those two rolls. In fact, make it an advantage for my hubris.
Whoa.
Would you like both of them at the same time? Because if it's an investigation check, it's either a 4 or a natural 1. It's I'm just kicking bodies.
So yeah, you're really. I mean, I guess you're embracing that. With that 4, you find an arrow, and it's
Ow.
one of Ori's.
It's a bolt.
It's a bolt.
Billy just like holds it up. Found one.
Are you inside right now?
No, I'm outside.
Kicking bodies.
I'm just like,
So Minka, what are you doing with this chest?
I was dragging it out from inside the thing because I couldn't tell what it was, and I didn't want to open it without at least someone being like, "Is it deadly?" I don't know. It has symbols on it. Drag.
Good idea. So you drag it out. Those of you who are paying attention see Minka drag out to call it a treasure chest is maybe like a little bit, it doesn't have like the classic dome shape. It's a box, but it is locked and secured. There are heavy kind of bolts to it, and there are these symbols that, Alina, as you see them, are similar to the ones that you just witnessed.
what's that down there?
Why don't you come down here, Ori? I think we're okay for now, and
Do a
could use your.
Final scan to see.
Yeah. Do your eye for your
Make sure
Hidden-
that
There's a
nothing-
lock here to pick. That's your thing, right?
Is it 19?
Is it like obvious that there's writing on it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, writing is it's these weird glyphs, but yeah, there's definitely symbols on it. 19. With a 19, you look around, you see Toes, who is like hanging out with this little dog, and Toes seems to be very comfortable with the little dog. You can see Rez, who is also still like standing maybe 10 feet away, just kind of like nodding at it. But you don't see any creatures. Make a insight check.
Anyone?
You're really not sure how this kobold and this dog are getting along, nor how Rez is getting along with this dog. It's a mystery to you.
Rez,
You look down and you're seeing a real tense standoff between these three.
Billy
my
casts
way down.
comprehend languages and goes over to the chest and just like puts a finger on it so that she can read it.
You cast comprehend languages. You go over and you put a finger on this, and it doesn't give you anything. This isn't a language. This is something that, with you, make an Arcana check.
Echoes in the house tonight. It's 7.
we used up all our good rolls.
Yeah, that was
Just
all
some
used up.
goblin-y carvings.
Alina, noticing that Billy has walked up there, has walked up behind her, and Alina's head kind of pops out over your shoulder and is
Oh
like, "Hey,
god.
cool, I'm glad you noticed that. There's a weird crow's body in the tent with the same markings on it. You got anything on that?"
Was it a body in the tent? I thought it was just a head and then more heads.
It is the head and then faces on the torso, but it's like this desiccated little goblin body that's still
like
bleeding somehow.
almost
And then
like,
Alina's-
some sort of
Billy kind of like shakes a finger off from the chest and just looks over. It's probably vegetables. And they had all these other vegetables in another place
Okay,
and
but
follows.
very nice.
But what's in there is not vegetables. It's a body with more freaking faces on it.
follows Alina.
Can you come look, please? It's so gross in there. Sorry,
this,
you might like it.
chest that
What do you mean?
I have made it down, and I'm wondering what I'm looking at here
It
now.
is.
It's a chest. You can see it's roughly the size of like a Foot Locker kind of thing. The way that Minka is pulling it is quite heavy. It's the hinges on it and all the mechanisms that make it a box and not just pieces of wood are very sturdy. And so this is something that is protected. And in your experience, that generally means that it's valuable. Probably not vegetables.
So you want me to
It's also covered in these ugly looking symbols. It has a lock on it. And in your experience, those two things don't tend to go together in a positive way.
Oh, Billy says it's just vegetables.
vegetables in this chest?
Ah,
I mean, it's locked up,
That's
and it was in a bunch of the
highly
other
improbable.
knickknacks and like trophy-looking things. It's important for sure. I just don't know what brand of important.
What kind of symbols are those?
No idea. One kind of looked like a coat of arms, though. This one looks kind of like a fish. If you squinted, it really looked good.
None of this means anything to Ori, right?
Make a history check.
14?
There are languages that exist that
13.
13. You don't really know.
Billy follows Alina into the tent and looks at the goblin body, is really grossed out, and just kind of like,
You touch it, and it's unpleasant. The wounds kind of weep openly as you do that.
oh, this
know
is
you
so
were gonna
gross.
touch it.
I have to touch it to read.
I didn't need you to do that.
I do to read. That's how the
sorry.
spell works.
Let's never tell anybody.
It's not
about
language. Similar to the box that you just checked with the same markings, it seems to be some other kind of thing. And it's hard because it doesn't even necessarily read. Yeah, it feels gross and it's a little damp. It feels... Make a history check. And make it an advantage.
These dice are gonna spend some alone time. That's a 13.
Like so often has happened, you get the sense that at one point you had learned something about this, but it's not coming to you now. You are not the best student. A theme with all of your characters in all of our campaigns.
Alina is gonna be like, okay. I didn't know you were gonna touch it. It kind of seems. I was just
I
wondering.
had
like,
to touch it in order to read.
No,
the
I
thing.
just
It's
wanted to
different. It's
know
a
what-
lesser spell.
I just didn't know if like the icky faces meant anything to you.
They're gross.
Yeah.
Is this Haggy, Billy?
I don't know. It's just really squishy, and now the blood is on me, and it's old blood. Have you had like old blood that's still liquidy on you? It's gross, and it smells.
Okay, let's go. Come on, let's go get you cleaned up.
Do you think we
I'm
could
gonna-
fit this in the bag?
This entire chest?
Maybe.
Probably.
Because, like,
How much room is still in there?
does it
I
have a
haven't been in
limit?
Oh.
It does, but it's quite large.
Okay. Because, like, it's definitely important.
I don't
but-
think we should open it just based on the general vibes that I'm getting.
That's fair. But I also just don't want to leave it here because there's clearly
Right.
something happening. And we
Right.
could get more information from
Which
this.
actually.
Can I call Toes over?
Yeah.
Toes, what do
Oh,
you
yeah,
make?
Papa. Wait.
Never mind. Just wanted to talk to you about the dog.
Oh, he's doing okay.
Lead him away so that Ori can do whatever.
Well, I wanted to. Oh, we'll catch her up later, I guess. starting to feel like maybe we're not heading where we should be here, and this Lord of Jaws is really starting to make me feel a bit uncomfortable to the point where
The Lord! He was able to perceive that from where he is.
Alina leads him back to the dog, telepathically says to Rez, distract him, and then goes to rejoin the conversation.
Hey, buddy, come here! And he starts waving to the dog and
Okay,
flops
Max, sorry. I was here all along.
this Lord of Jaws lives in the Underdark. Is not particularly aligned with the hags that we are aware of, but seems to live in relative harmony. Does that not cause any concern for any of you? That perhaps by eliminating the hags, we will leave open a very large opening for a dragon?
Well, usually Underdark things don't really come up to the surface that often.
Yeah,
Only if
usually.
things lower down are going worse.
And if we don't kill hags, then A, I don't get to kill hags, and
I'm not
B, we
saying-
don't get the waistcoat.
Not saying don't kill the hags. I am on board for killing the hags. What I am worried about, and just putting out there, is the fact that we are following a kobold who is going to feed his bisected and eviscerated friend to a creature called the Lord of Jaws.
I'd be more concerned if he was going to free his alive friend to the Lord of Jaws.
Honestly, Ori, I think you're probably right.
I rolled a perception check. Now that he's failed it, he can't hear.
I'm pretty sure he does not know where he is taking us.
Well, he got us to the camp. I think you're right. I just also agree with you that killing the hags is the next step.
Right. As long as we're all on the same page, that's fine. But I would like to get out of here sooner rather than later.
Oh,
Yes.
fully agree with that.
Let's go.
Can we fit this box in the bag?
You tell me.
Awkwardly trying to get the box
Don't
in
we
the
already
bag.
have 50 pounds of potatoes? Why do we need more vegetables?
And so you get the sense that holding this relatively heavy chest, it feels, I mean, it's heavy.
Yeah.
And this might actually be pushing you guys close to a limit, probably, just given its weight alone. And so it's something to think about with. It's something to think about in terms of whether
A
you
small
want to shove it in
dog
there.
carry it on its back.
No.
This weighs significantly more than the little guy.
I don't remember
Rez
why we
carry
have
it.
50 pounds of potatoes, Minka, but if you really want to take that chest with us, maybe we should leave the potatoes. Can you remind me about the potato? I'm sure it happened about 30 minutes ago in game time,
No,
but
no, no. That was from Crispy because we
Oh, right.
needed supplies to go, and he gave us potatoes.
right. Okay.
And potatoes are great because they last a long
That's
time,
true.
and we're traveling a lot.
Yeah.
And you can use them for so many things.
And if you let them grow for a while, you can get nightshade.
We have
Okay,
also...
I'm not saying the potatoes aren't good. I'm just saying I don't know if we can take
Oh.
that chest with us without
Okay.
some alterations
Okay.
to the bag.
I don't know
Does
how
anyone have
much longer I can have
parchment?
potato pancakes, to be honest.
Yeah, I probably have some parchment. I mean,
Can we copy at least the symbols down so we can ask someone about it later?
yeah.
I'll do a quick sketchery.
Yeah, do you have parchment?
Just
I believe I do.
I have
I definitely
a piece of paper somehow with a picture of the Hagator's tattoo. So I take that out, flip it over, and sketch this.
Okay,
That's a
sure.
map,
No
too.
problem.
Yeah,
just really get the sense that copying these symbols would somehow like activate whatever is like affecting the.
Make an Arcana check.
That's a good question.
I don't know as much works.
It's a 12.
I like that it's not language.
Hard to tell. I mean, when you have a spell that is designed to be like a trap or something, it usually has a trigger. But hard to tell.
We can
So
always-
is this not... Wait. You said this wasn't like a language?
Oh, it's a bunch of symbols.
Yep. Okay, so like I'm not great at like book magic. but like, it's like, you write the symbols down, right? And it's usually connected to like something, like draconic or whatever, right? Well, we saw magic earlier that was from before the weave. Is this also from before the weave?
You know what? If you really want to take it with us, I could put it in my ring.
Make an intelligence check.
16.
So interesting, that thought. There's something similar in that these are two things that are not adjacent to the weave. They're not the same. They're from two separate sources. Sort of coincidental that you found them so close together, but these are two things that do not operate through the weave. And part of that is why when Valis used that divine sense, it was almost like a dark spot. It registers on detect good and evil, or on divine sense, but it isn't really magic. It isn't really fiendish. It's something else. Whatever it is, malevolent, and that is why it seems to kind of tick those boxes, but it's different.
If you want to take it with us, I can put it in my ring, but I'm getting the ick.
I mean, same.
What if we...
I also
My
had to touch a
concern-
body with it on it, and that
Nobody
was also
made you do
gross.
that.
My
Nobody made you
concern
do
with
that.
it.
Wait, is it the same symbols?
Sorry, was it the same symbols? I thought it was.
Similar, very similar.
Okay, same
they're not
idea,
identical,
yeah.
but they are very similar.
It's along the same lines. Still couldn't read it.
So,
I know that Tina's not here, but I would really like to know Cheshire's take on this. Is that allowed, or is it just no?
Probably not. Cheshire, when she saw those faces, gone.
Okay, cool.
so
She's probably like,
at the very
Yeah.
least, I just want enough information
Grossed
about
out
what
more
this
often than I would
is
think.
to ask either Hearsome or if we have any other contacts about it, because we've now found multiple things
right, also,
that are weird, and it's not our prime thing right now, but
seems
It
like
is
there's
worrying.
more going on here than just the hags, and I don't like that.
yeah, like, I don't want to leave the box here, because if there's something bad inside of it, and if the silo...
Bury
yeah,
it
but I also...
under a very heavy rock.
You want to take the time
Anything
to
that
bury
we
it.
can move can, like, someone else can move too.
Right. We're not, like, buff.
Why don't we
Alex is buff.
take it with us in my ring just for a little while? Maybe we can leave it with Jacaranda to investigate something like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
At this point, I'm gonna walk off from the hut because I've been there the entire time
Yeah.
and say,
Chill with the body.
Is there anything that you were doing in there?
Last very
studying it, trying to.
Interesting
Can you
composition.
describe how the body is positioned again?
Oh, I can describe everything that you want about this body. I put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah.
So this goblin, you can tell that the skull from this slightly more kind of cone shaped because it is so desiccated. All the fluid is gone. The muscle tone is kind of left. The arms suction down to the side, basically. You can see the legs are there, but they're kind of bent almost in this pretzel shape underneath. Like it, you know how like when a spider dies, they curl up? This goblin very similar in the limbs. The torso has remained rigid only because there are 6 open mouths along it. And so that kind of keeps the body upright.
You say open.
Yeah.
Are they like deaf, lull, open, or like
Yes.
open as if like to put something inside?
Deaf, lull, open, and you can see there are throats that are all connected to something deep
Nope.
within.
Nope.
These are not just like a mutation or something. These are and or were functional.
Human centipede, human centipede. Do you learn anything else in there?
Alina through the tent door.
Oh no, I thought he came out.
Oh, okay.
So I come out and I looked to Minka and I said, Minka, can I have a hand? Oh, what's that?
Oh, I found this box, and this symbol looks kind of like a coat of arms, and this one looks kind of like a fish if you squint it, and apparently these are terrible, terrible symbols from outside the weave that may or may not be related to the gross thing in there, which I have not seen.
So I've been studying the symbols in there and on the body for a while, and they don't match. Is that right?
They don't match exactly, but they are like this is not a language. Billy knows that because they've used detect language, but these are from the same system of whatever this is. They're very similar. They were made by the same hand, but their function is fundamentally different. So if you were looking at a spell, you would be looking at 2 different spells, but this isn't that.
So I was considering using legend lore on the body to figure out what it is and how I can
What about on the symbols?
what's the word? Because I feel it's malevolent and I want to, and it's an abomination to life and I want to diffuse it or destroy it. But I only have one use, so I could either try to use it on
Seems like a good time to use that.
the body or I can try to use it on the chest.
Wait.
Can you use it on the symbols themselves? Is that a thing?
Oh, I was gonna ask if we can use it on the dragon.
Lord of
Because-
Jaws.
Yeah, because like symbols and stuff. Even if we could if we could get more information about it, it might get more information about the magic itself, but not the source of anything. But at least a dragon.
Well, it doesn't
probably
really work
has
on
history.
like symbols. It works on things or objects or people or places,
All the more
but not
reason.
really for symbols. I could do the dragon.
You could always ask about the body or the chest tomorrow, right?
I feel
It
like
doesn't need to be right there in front of you, does it?
I mean, it doesn't, but we are here now, and I would like to understand. I mean, what the body is, and if I could do anything to destroy it. So I just wanted
It's up to
to.
you.
Yeah. Are we taking that chest with us?
Well, we were debating about that. 'cause
We
do-
I'm gonna
can.
wander in to see what all the hubbub is about.
Okay, you wander over to this group.
There, Ori.
You kind of walk past them and into this tent, and you throw it aside. Valis kind of left unearthed this desiccated little goblin, 6 mouths all open. Yeah.
Why didn't you say it was this gross?
I said it was gross.
You said it was gross. You didn't say it was this gross.
It's so gross.
You acted like it was just like a normal dead body.
Nobody acted like that.
I called it an abomination to life.
An abomination.
Expect to
I've
see.
witnessed abominations to life. This
Okay,
is
okay. Now we're all on. We've all
the chest
seen everything.
low?
Have you seen it?
Yeah,
you don't
there's a
need
lock
to see it.
on the
I don't
outside
know
of
if
it.
I want
Billy,
to.
Protect this.
Like-
That's okay.
Walks up to Ori,
it all
puts a
just-
hand on his shoulder,
look away.
All right.
and just whispers in his ear.
I touched it.
And as Billy's hand comes away from your shoulder, there's like a little residue.
Okay, let's make a decision because I think all of us would love to get out of here because it's gross and also we've got hags to kill,
Yes.
right? And the longer we faff around here, the harder that's going to be.
Did
So
you say we could carry the chest in the bag of holding?
I can put it in my ring
Oh, okay.
because it is an object, correct?
Yeah.
So we can make a more informed decision later, I guess.
Can you do that
At this,
thing?
telepathically, Alina, you hear in your mind Rez just go, "I'm not doing good with this animal. He's going all over the place. He's wild."
That's okay. Hey, Rez, why don't you come over here and look at this? You got anything?
I got a dog.
No, come over here where I am.
All right.
And look at this chest.
Just appears, and
Missed you.
right near you, he's like, "Yeah, that dog is just." Anyways, what are we looking at? What are we doing?
Well, I don't know. Do you recognize this weird magic, these weird symbols that are here?
Kind of squats down and like plops down cross-legged on like right in front of this chest and kind of looks at it, and he just goes, "Oh yeah, this stuff, it's not good. I've seen some stuff in the hells. This is way worse. It's from, it's like a place that's kind of like, it's."
Than hell.
It's kind of
Let him cut.
amongst us who are kind of like employees there, it's kind of like our hell, I guess.
Wait, so do you know the name of this place, or like what do you guys call it?
I mean, it's just really far away, so we call it the Far Realm.
Oh, does that mean anything to
Does that mean anything?
any of us?
I would say Billy already failed a check on this. I would say the only people who can make a check still are Valis, Ori, and Minka. If you want to make history checks.
All right.
I
I don't think Alina would have any reason to have known anything about this.
I already kind of
guidance on
Do I
it.
get? I don't get my thing, right?
No.
Because it's not. Yeah.
This is like
far
really
Realm.
obscure knowledge.
Do I get
You
my
said
thing?
history.
It's for
That's a joke question.
15.
Also 15.
7.
Oh, nice.
okay. With your collection of subpar numbers,
I'd say 15 is par.
it's not par enough. You really have no idea. Far Realm sounds like a faraway place, maybe a different continent. You've heard of, continents that are basically not unexplored, but basically nobody's visited. There's a continent that's underwater currently, but never heard of the Far Realm.
Okay, Rez.
reassuring.
We were thinking about maybe taking this weird evil chest with us.
Why?
I don't know, because we want to understand what it is.
It's
Just-
locked.
Open it and take the stuff out?
You think that
think?
opening whatever's in there is not going to cause further problems for us?
I mean, not for whoever stands far enough away. It looks kind of fucked up.
Okay, everyone get back. And Billy like gestures people to move backwards.
Can anyone,
Because you like shuffle backwards.
Do that thing that helps people do things to me. That spell.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Okay.
To,
I guess we're doing it.
Billy starts
let me know when you're
conjuring
ready
an
to
eldritch
opening it?
blast.
Well, I don't know. Wait, stop. Everybody stop. I'm actually fine with this, but speak now if...
I have reservations about opening the mysterious and foreboding box. However,
What if what's in there could help us against the hags?
I'm gonna go over here, and whatever happens when I turn my back, I will deal with the consequences of that after you have made a decision.
Oh, he really said I ain't gonna ask no questions.
You're the chemistry teacher who caught people, so the kids doing something that like they don't know what it's gonna do, and so they're like, "Well, this
Billy
is interesting."
okay.
kind of
Just-
puts her like arms out and like starts walking backwards with everyone. It's like,
Okay.
okay, we can like
I'm gonna
cast this
climb
from a
back
really
up
far
to the
distance.
top of the tower.
You climb back
Remember,
up
you
to
had
the
an
top of the tower.
opportunity to, and you just chose to. Okay.
Right,
At this, you can see Toes is like holding
I'm just gonna keep watch for a
this
bit.
rope
Okay.
that has been attached to Little Guy. The rope is like taut. Little Guy's trying to get as far away as he can, but Toes just kind of looking, and from far away is just like, "What are you guys doing?"
Get over here. Just
little guy, come.
Once we're
Make an animal handling check.
60 feet, does that sound good? 60 feet. Yeah, sure. Okay.
maybe 61 feet.
Billy takes an extra step back.
Yeah.
In case
Just
this
in
is-
case.
yeah. What was that?
8.
8. Little Guy does not respond. He's not barking
man.
or anything, but he's definitely trying to stay far away.
But how are we opening it?
Billy's gonna fire an eldritch blast.
We're all over here. Oh, I don't. Okay.
Actually, you don't have to make an attack roll. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh.
We make
Because
our
like
bets.
ultimately, you can sit there and just throw Eldritch Blast after Eldritch Blast till you hit it. It's not hard to hit.
Well,
We can take
might that
that's a
damage the
9.
thing inside? Why aren't we just picking the lock?
because then you'd have to stand next to it.
You throw this Eldritch Blast when it ripples down the cave, and as it strikes this box, the box clatter, 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 hits end over end, and then as it like comes to a rest on the ground, there's this huge wave of force energy. Stones in the vicinity of about 10 feet crack. There is a good amount of force that you imagine would damage organs and things like that, but the dust settles and the chest just kind of right back onto its base.
I'm sorry. Wait,
Oh,
Sorry,
it
it-
flipped
what?
itself over?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it.
That's
it's
a little
Is it,
upsetting.
did it flip itself over and close itself? Is it open?
It's not open.
So basically
it didn't
just
work.
like,
No.
Yeah, okay.
what was that?
Well, it depends on what your intent was.
Okay.
Well, yeah, don't open this big scary
Okay,
chest.
do not, like, it moved itself. It moved itself.
I think that's a renewable heavy grenade.
Does the fact that it
what's a grenade?
moved itself give us any clues about what is going on here?
Given the checks that you guys have made, you've really kind of bombed a bunch of them.
But it's new information.
It is new information. I would say, since you are the one asking it, no. You're,
Billy's ready to call it a day. Billy's done.
It's
I mean, some of you have probably heard of things called mimics. Those are chests-like in appearance, and they move, but those usually like attack you when you interact with them. This is not doing that.
so that's really upsetting.
I'm not putting that in my ring.
That's
Nope.
that's fair.
No, we're
what
leaving that
happened?
behind.
I
It
heard a loud
moved.
boom.
we got some of the symbols down,
It
right?
flipped itself over. I think we got all of them.
Okay.
Did
Then
you
maybe we
get-
should just.
It
Can we
moved
go?
back. It moved on its own. We're
Moved
not.
on its own. It righted itself like a cat.
Well, see, now I'm more intrigued.
No.
If you want to come down and pick that lock, you go for it, and I'm gonna turn my back, and I ain't gonna ask no questions.
I'm going back down.
it
Or it
exploded 10
starts to climb
feet.
down.
Let us.
It exploded.
know
Wait,
if-
weren't you watching? Oh no, you turned. You
just
said you.
heard a boom.
The chest exploded and then it stood itself back up. You want to touch that?
It looks fine.
Yeah. It exploded and it stood itself back up.
Does it seem like it was trapped and the trap has now been triggered and it's no longer armed?
Make an investigation check.
Billy turns her back and begins to
Yeah,
walk away.
yeah.
I'm ready whenever you want.
Well, like, okay.
Do it a bunch of times.
Can I, while
Alright,
he's looking
I'm
at it,
ready.
I'm gonna whisper to
15,
Toes.
and then-
Have you ever seen anything like that?
Toes is like has basically like tied the thing around his waist now, and so it's like a kobold leash to a little dog. It's kind of unclear who's pulling who. He's like leaning all the way forward because the dog's trying to get far away.
Yeah.
But he just kind of goes, "Oh, sorry, what did you say?"
Just have you ever seen anything like that?
Like what? This chest?
Yeah.
It's box.
It's a box.
Yeah, I put stuff in it.
No, I meant like the symbols around it and the fact that it exploded.
It's
and
writing. I can't read.
No, I know, but did you see how it exploded and then flipped itself back over? Did you see that?
He like very uncertainly, and you get the sense, even without an insight check, this is kind of one of those things where he's like, "Are you dumb?" But he just kind of points at Billy, and in his mind, you get the sense that he thinks that this is all just Billy's spell that Billy just cast with this box.
All right, well, do what you're gonna do, Ori, and then we'll deal with the consequences.
You look at it, and I mean, none of the symbols have changed. And actually, now that you're looking at it, there's a mild change to the symbols because they are bleeding ever so slightly.
Billy begins.
The box is bleeding.
Yeah, don't touch it. We're
body
Why
going.
is the box bleeding?
I don't
We're
know what the
leaving
body
now.
Why did you? Why? Well, the bodies typically bleed, but why is the box bleeding?
We don't want to know.
What? The-
It's weird. Okay, it's weird. Something other than magic. Okay, I don't think you should touch it, Ori.
Does it look
Why don't
like
you
a
throw more
mundane
Eldritch Blast
lock
at
on it?
It sounds like you damaged it. Maybe if you damage it enough, it will
Say
dissipate the
again?
magic.
Does it
or
look like a
open it.
mundane
It's
lock on
bleeding
it?
from the symbols.
The lock itself looks mundane, but
you
the
didn't use anything
symbols
to
seem to
turn,
be
right?
what are
Damaged it.
affecting this.
And the symbols are on the chest, and the lock is built into the structure of the chest.
Correct.
The
Yeah, it's on
body
the
is
exterior. You can
still
see the
bleeding,
actual lock,
and
but
it was
it's
very
it's
dead.
you know part of the
built in.
mechanism.
It's
Yeah,
not like a padlock.
Not hurt.
it is shaped like a padlock, but it's
But
like
it's
you know,
inset, yeah.
Okay. Decision time.
Not touching it.
What?
Minka cast
Nothing good.
guidance on me, and I want to use that to cast legend lore and try to
Okay.
make a persuasion check.
So you take the bead, you hold on to it, and what are you asking about?
The body, in the chieftain's tent.
Make a persuasion check.
All right.
It's 1d4.
Ah, yes, a goblin. You hear this voice in your head. Goblinoids are an interesting
22.
group. 22.
Hey.
Fast forward.
Yeah, but usually when he does that, he comes back knowing a lot of stuff.
No. You are skipping interesting facts, Valis, who is a friend. But if you must know,
I'm gonna go play with the dog.
this is something from. Give me 1 second, I want to steer you wrong here.
Don't worry, I'm just consulting magical Google. I forgot my log.
This is known as a void ward. It is something crafted by creatures from beyond the astral expanse. It is dark. Looking upon these symbols for too long, Valis, can drive one mad. Which can be entertaining for a time, but if you're not in control of it, it is not pleasant at all.
Void what? Walker?
Void Ward. It's something that is designed to keep magic away. Things like scrying, things of a divination.
How do I spell the void ward to
We don't know any.
to how do I get rid of the void ward? Like if say it's
With fire, Valis, but I would be cautious. These are meant to guard against something. Arf! And suddenly, little guy just runs right by you guys, and you see Toes plants his little tiny kobold legs as hard as he can. He locks his knees, and he just manages to keep this rope taut and himself from going prone. Little guy just almost like is upended, but continues to pull, and is now running in the opposite direction, the direction that you all came from.
We should just go.
oh
Wait, the dog.
This guy's running.
The dog. The
I run
dog.
over and try to grab the little guy.
You run
Before
over,
he runs.
you grab it, and Toes just goes, "Oh, thank you." But you grab it, and this dog is just barking and looks behind at you and looks frightened.
So we're leaving,
Two things.
right?
And you can hear from one of those little goblins from the torso, the mouth just opens and just kind of gasps.
Nope.
And you can just hear another and another.
We're leaving.
Let me bring a little visual perspective.
No!
We
I just wanna
dawdled for
kill
too
Hags.
long.
You did. You guys a lot of him.
You did.
Billy was just like, we should leave. But no, we have
I
to
know.
investigate.
We were
the
so
fucking
close.
thing.
We were literally about to leave, and then the dog ran.
Can I tell you how predictable this was?
So predictable.
So predictable.
Do you have our minis in the exact place?
Yeah, like
Notice, gathered around this goblin, treasure chest.
Yep, there we are. He
Yeah.
placed us. Oh no! Oh, that's
You can
icky.
see-
That's an icky guy. Right there.
Describe that guy, because he's not exactly what you're seeing.
Because I remember that guy from
That's from a
last
Valentine's
Valentine's
Day.
Day.
Oh wow, I didn't even think about that. But that's very.
Oh wait, is that this?
This was a heart golem.
The heart golem. Yeah, that.
that got.
Same
we
thing.
Fucking Javaris and his
That-
inability to summarize.
I mean,
No, he rolled well.
that
it's
was
fucking us and
that
not
was like
picking up on the
9,000
clues.
years of lore summarized. That was good for Javar.
I wanted to do that like much earlier on, but there was just like a lot of like talking and want to interrupt. That was
We love
like
talking, don't we?
We are not like a very like efficient group.
Or he's just been
wanted
focused
to
on
get
the
to the
bleeding
hags, there's
chest
that
that he's looking at. Like,
Just once.
or he is
We're
gazing
fine.
into the abyss right now, just a little bit.
So
Regretting.
Peek over the
from the cavern beyond, the area that you guys have not yet gone to, there is this kind of sound, and you see just this gross mass of parts kind of roll out, and then another as another one just stretches out, almost like octopus-like tendrils, and then it begins to solidify and solid up into legs, and then crawl up more of this kind of bio goo until it becomes a vaguely humanoid shape. Though from the back, these tentacles emerge. And can everybody go ahead and roll for initiative?
We need to stop looking for loot.
Why did we do this? Why did we
just take
do
the
this?
chest with us.
Well,
I'm too busy staring at the bleeding.
I'm not putting that in my red.
Kara, I shouldn't roll on this, right?
Pristine.
Correct.
red.
It's still drying.
There. We're going with the mosaic team.
Now it's weird,
5-1
too, 'cause it's
tonight.
bleeding.
Oh, there's a good roll when I don't need it.
Yeah, wasted.
Well, I'm not gonna say anything. All right.
Nope, don't do anything.
All right. Anybody natural 20?
Not that good.
Alrighty. 25 to 20.
21.
21 for Billy.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 for Alina. All right. 20 to 15.
12.
12. Also, it's not 15, but
No,
all right.
I'm sorry, my brain inverted the numbers.
I always, yeah.
I did the wrong way.
So it's going to be Ori and then Minka. And then 15 to 10, not excluding 12.
Rez is at 13.
13 for Rez.
Not good at brain time.
It's okay. It's okay.
10.
10 for Valis.
Hey, better than
Fantastic.
usual.
It is better than you.
Double digits.
You are currently holding Little Guy's leash, and so Little Guy's going to go on your initiative.
Very good.
You are also very technically holding Toes on his leash, and so he is also going to go on 10 initiative.
So Ori and Minka are both 12?
The way that this works out, Billy will be starting us off, followed by Alina, followed by Rez, followed by Ori, followed by Minka, followed by Valis / Little Guy / Toes, who are all currently bound together, followed by the Soul Tormentor.
What a name.
Don't like the name of that. That's worse than the Lord
Also,
of Jaws.
congratulations to all of us for going before the baddies.
Natural 1 for the baddie.
Hey,
So, this creature
Tormentor.
turns up, and the Soul Tormentor, you can see these tentacles of just biological mass are beginning to move. And I would also say you notice that that body that was just kind of gasping before is now, and you can just hear all of these different
So, like,
mouths. All of them within 60 feet of this creature are gasping for air. But that brings us to Billy. Billy, as you hear this cacophony take place around you, what would you like to do?
Everyone is right around her, right?
Everybody is right around, yeah.
All right. Billy draws her sword and just shouts, "Run!" And then she runs forward.
Okay.
And green flame blades.
Oh,
Billy
Wait.
pushes
What do you mean,
aside.
run?
So you run.
Billy, you get up to this thing. There is no eyes, there is no mouth, there is no face. There is just muscle and tissue and blood. But go ahead, make your attacks.
You know, at the end of this, if we survive,
We should dilly-dally some more.
it'll be like, you know,
It's a 16.
16.
Do you think we'll learn anything?
Meets a pizza.
Yeah. Green flame blade is D8. It's just the one, right?
Yeah, as far as you could tell.
Oh, D8. I don't have a D8 out. I was expecting to not have to fight anything. I was expecting to just have to look at it. Thank you.
This is gonna be more of a viewing session.
Exactly. Oh, it's almost max damage. 13 points of magical piercing damage, 5 points of fire damage, and I am expending a bardic for defensive flourish, which gives me an extra 2 points to my AC and 2 points of additional magical piercing.
Phenomenal. So you yell out for everybody to run. You step forwards, pushing Alina almost out of the way. You stand between the little guy and this creature. And as it looms up over you, you ignite the green flame blade. You bring it across, and it sinks in, and it cuts across the flesh. It deals the full amount of damage. Anything else, Billy?
That will be all.
Okay. That is Billy's turn. That brings us to Alina. Alina, as you kind of catch your balance, Billy runs by you. What do you want to do?
Has it been less than 10 minutes since the last battle?
It is not.
It's fine. I'm like, man, I wish I remember the good old days when I could fly.
I tried. I tried for it to be less than 10 minutes.
No. We are so bad at this game. So Alina is going to tell Rez, you know the drill, buddy. Distract.
No, I'm on it.
Yeah. And then she's gonna call to Valis. Dude, you went glassy-eyed. Did you learn anything? And then, Eldritch Blast. Pop, pop.
So you hear Alina just go, you guys didn't do anything? And then Eldritch Blast. Quick communication from Alina.
I only have 6 seconds. I have so much
Did you understand any of that?
It's like
Actually, no. Billy has comprehend languages up.
Yeah, you do. You get that.
it's like Animal Crossing.
So Billy's used to Alina's nonsense, surely. Okay, that's a 24.
24
and a
hits.
28.
28 hits.
How do I play this game? Okay, that's 24 points of force damage and 3 bludgeoning.
24 points of force damage. Does not do as much as you would expect, in fact. However, the bludgeoning does.
Really? That's fun. It's a fun combo.
1 second here. Math is hard. Okay.
God.
Anything else, Alina?
No.
You throw these Eldritch Blasts, and Billy, right in front of you, you see these 2 bolts just hit, and they're almost, because it's just like matter, it sheds this matter and doesn't seem to do as much damage. But that is Alina's turn. That brings us to Rez. Rez just whoof to the side and just kind of goes, does it have a face? Hey! And just kind of like starts trying to distract it.
Do your best, buddy.
He's doing his best. That is his turn. That brings us to Ori. Minka, your own deck.
I'm gonna draw my attention away from the bleeding chest that has caught me off guard, and
Can I tell you, I even considered putting your character in the tower, but I was like, something will bring him back down. I'm very proud of us.
This makes me so mad. You know us so well. It's so uncomfortable seeing your being called out so vividly.
I mean, I do have a different encounter map for this creature. That was if you had gone quicker, but yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah, I was leaning towards this.
I was wondering where our minis were.
So
Starfinder ones are
I'm gonna use my insightful fighting on the abomination before me as I back away from this chest.
You look at this creature, and it's hard to even really consider it, but yeah, sure.
I mean, yeah, I guess it.
Does it have the deception?
Yeah, what's its deception? I got a 27.
Surely not.
Much higher than it.
It's over here.
13.
My head is over there.
Cool. So I can do sneak attacks for the next minute without advantage.
More of this is less about you having an insight into it and more that it has no armor. It is just flesh. And
So
so,
there's like no weak points. It's all just
it's
flesh.
all a weak point,
It's
technically.
all- oh. And then I'm gonna make. Do I get advantage for the flanking that
You get
Rez is
advantage because
providing?
Rez is helping.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raz is taking the help
All right.
action.
Then I am going to make my attack at advantage.
Oh yeah, you get since you go after Rez, you get the help action now for.
I gotta
It's
use
actually,
my-
so this is like
Fresh
ideal
dice.
is to have Rez
Yes.
right in front of Ori.
Agreed. I could also, what I should be doing is telling him to give Ori the help action specifically, but I just like taking it for
dice.
myself.
Fresh.
Yeah, no, it's nice to just have the utility.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
They got
my
a got
God.
a rinse out.
Oh, were they all bad?
Oh no!
That's like
That is the
impossibly bad.
Numbies I've ever seen.
They're
What,
not
is it
even
double
worthy of being
one?
called
One?
numbies.
There are 2 1s in there.
No!
Wow. Wow. Can you imagine getting a natural one with elvish accuracy and advantage? That would be embarrassing.
So total is a 12.
A 12.
Sorry, a 13.
A 13 is not high enough to hit, and as you fire, you almost shoot Billy straight in the back.
What
And the
the
only
fuck?
thing that keeps you from doing it is the fact that your eyesight is so keen that you're able
Gaze
to pull
too
it
long
aside
into the
at last
abyss.
minute. Anything else, Ori?
I'm gonna use the rest of my movement to like slowly but quickly back away.
As you back away, you're getting closer to more of those goblins, and the sound of them gasping is getting much louder.
This thing's making these other ones not happy.
That is your turn, Ori. Minka, what would you like to do?
The chest.
Valis, you're on deck.
Upsetting. So the chest is, I'm assuming, just right where it is on there. We're just right.
That's the gem chest. You have a different chest, technically.
Do we know where that is in this relationship?
It's a little smaller than that chest, so it's not on the map.
Okay.
Because I don't have one small enough for it, but it's in one of your possessions, presumably at this point.
The chest?
Yeah, it's like at your feet, presumably one of you.
It was
Okay.
just at my feet. And
Yeah,
So it's like
I'm gonna use this
here-ish.
for it.
yeah, thank you.
Little chest here.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So just
oh,
that.
I thought that was the chest that was the right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, what we're gonna do is we're going to move away.
Okay.
So I will go join Ori in the not being next to this thing crew. And then I will take form of the archer
Okay.
and shoot it with an arrow.
So all around you, the stars ignite, and the entire area becomes a lot brighter. Go ahead and make those attack rolls.
So that is
Hey, I can't really see like the little bits of mass anymore with the shadow. Oh God!
so
You see little goblin fingers. You
No,
see a very
no.
long tongue that definitely doesn't belong to a goblin. There are all kinds of things mixed in there.
terrible. So that's a 13, which I believe is a miss.
That is a miss.
And then I am glowing. So that's my bonus action, and then for my action, seeing that I just missed and I'm still horrified, I'm just gonna cast guiding bolt on it and just be like, nope,
Yeah,
nope,
make your attack roll.
we're just gonna know. That is much better. That's a 17 on the die.
That does hit.
So we are going to cast glow and please
no, the
stop.
thing.
Glow. My favorite spell. Glow and please stop.
So it is, I think, 3.
Face is too big. It's gonna have to.
How many d6?
Oh,
You're
nice.
46.
Bracelet.
Okay, so that is a total of 15 radiant damage.
So as you strike this creature with this radiant energy, you can see the mass almost shies away as the bolt approaches, and then as it strikes, it ripples and it shrieks. And all of the voices from these goblins, they go from this to this scream. And you can just hear about a dozen voices screech out, and this does significantly more damage than you thought it was going to.
What was this guiding bolt?
But anything else? And this creature glows now from within. You can see, Billy, you're like, oh god, more detail. And then it just glows from within, and you can see now like skin, membranes.
You guys has 12 toes!
But anything else?
All right, so that was my action, my bonus action, my movement, and for a free action, I'm just going to upsettedly like because Minka was going to try to say something, and then she's too overwhelmed.
No worries. That brings us to Valis / little guy / Toad.
All right, I will hand the leash over to Toes.
Okay.
And I'll yell at Toes, take him and hide under that table over there. I'm gonna point at this table over here.
Okay.
And then, how big is this box again?
This box?
I'm trying to figure out like how far can I throw it?
So this box, you saw Minka drag out. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, I'm pretty strong.
You are pretty strong.
This will be little guy.
Minka, there was no weight communicated to you, and Minka didn't really check to see how much it, like, didn't do anything to...
How big is it?
How big is it? It's like a footlocker size. So, like, maybe this big?
Well, I suspect that warg is going to stand up at some point.
It
Probably
got
why it's on
Eldritch
the
blasted. How long between the blast hitting it and it exploding?
Sorry, so what are you
When
doing?
Billy hit it with Eldritch Blast,
Yes.
how was there a delay between it exploding and the Eldritch Blast hitting it?
No. Not mechanically.
Okay, all right.
See, that's why I was asking about where it was in the map, because that's a very similar
Gotcha.
idea.
Yeah. Smart.
I was
Very
gonna
smart.
hit it then chuck it. All right then.
Grenade.
You could just hold it, run up, and then just stab it. I mean,
True, but then
I'm sure we'd all be fine.
I'd be in the the last radius.
Joe did specifically talk about organs liquefying. Yeah.
All right, I think I'm going to.
Like a smoothie.
Do you think Vincent's gonna remember to get us all to take a fire?
Probably not.
Damn.
Fire hurting what?
What? Nothing.
Yeah.
The chest or the thing?
Well, like, you know, Alina was like, "Hey, did you learn anything?" So I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
but I
you
had to
heard that.
talk to Toes and the dog.
Listen. You do you. It's your turn.
It's all good.
All right.
We know that Radiant doesn't do amount of damage.
We do.
That's information.
I mean, do we think this thing is related to the chest? Because that's not.
Valis, what are you doing?
I'm attacking.
Your attack rolls.
And then
Just being an asshole. Sorry.
Slice then dice.
let's see. Action. So that is a 24 to hit.
24 hits.
I'm gonna smite.
Smite it!
Is this thing fiendish or undead? Because it does smite does extra damage.
It is not.
It's not.
It is an aberration.
All right.
It certainly is.
Billy knows that more than anyone right now.
9 slashing, and then 8 radiant.
I don't know why I know this.
The
but
radiant does more than
1440
you
sounds
thought
right
it was
for
going
this.
to. The slashing is not magical, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Correct.
not.
That
Okay,
is correct.
then that does not do the amount that you would like it to, but
Alright.
in balance, that's more damage than you would imagine. Anything else?
Second attack.
Go for it.
Oh, not good. 11 to hit.
11 is a miss.
Yeah. All right, and then as I cut at him, I say, "The runes are a void ward. It's weak to fire."
I
Valis
only got
yells
like
this
half
out.
of that, but that's the part that I needed.
That's your turn.
Yeah.
For his turn, Toes is going to start by making a strength saving throw. He'll succeed. He digs his heels in as this dog does not take him off of his feet, and he grabs this leash and lugs it towards the table. He is going against the little guy, and so
Matt already moved
The
him.
true battle that is taking
where did I
place.
put the?
Matt already
I
moved
just
him.
moved him.
Oh, sorry. We're gonna have him
Like right next to. I thought this was
get to here.
little guy. Oh, there's little guy. He was hiding behind that rock the whole time.
And so immediately Toes just goes, yeah, come on, and just like starts pulling him and trying to get him under the table. He doesn't quite get there, but he's listening to you. That is Little Guy and Toes. That brings us to the Soul Tormentor. So at the start of its turn,
Thoroughly really upsetting.
The bit will end when we leave the cave.
If we die here, no, don't.
We get to fight them again.
Don't put something different there.
Oh.
You see 3 of those goblins, they go from that moan to a scream, and then you watch as all of the color that is left just drains, and they shrivel and they desiccate, and wounds open up in these gross marks that are very similar to the one that you saw in the tent. And this creature seems to regain elements of its health.
That's what's going on.
It's sucking up souls.
Sucking up right, and
That is
tormenting
at the
them.
start of its
Sucking
turn.
up
Also,
souls.
All right.
And then tasty
This guy's
souls.
it is going to. I guess it's just going to stick right. Well, no. It is going to
He needs to die.
run right past. So it's going to provoke an attack of opportunity from Valis, from Billy,
Yeah, taking that.
from Alina,
Hey.
technically from Little Guy, and he is going right for
Wait,
Minka.
and Rez? Because Rez
yes.
has been right
And
next to him?
from Rest, yeah, he has a reaction. Yeah.
19.
Glowing beam of
19
radiant
hits.
energy.
Huh?
The glowing thing of radiant energy.
10 points of damage
No,
from
I'm
Billy.
just saying I'm a beam of radiant energy.
10 points of magical piercing damage from
Gotcha,
Billy.
gotcha.
Oh, right. I just have to bop him with my staff.
19 to hit.
19 to hit. That hits.
Oh, actually, I'm going to do a ram. So, let's see. 17 to hit for Alina.
17 also hits.
I'm gonna smite at a level 2, so it's gonna be 7 slashing,
7 slashing. Okay.
and then 14 radiant.
14 radiant. Very nice.
He's smote.
All right. He rushes over, he looms over you, and as he runs over Minka, you can see he howls with the pain from that first blow. He steps over, Valis strikes him, and this smite just ignites this light from within him. And as his leg falls away, another one just shoots out, and it steps over, getting a little bit smaller, but just rushing towards you. It is intent. And as it looms over top, as it looms over top, if you hadn't taken a reaction, do you?
I haven't taken a reaction.
If you
Can I
want,
use
as a reaction,
to
you
push
can.
Minka out
Yeah,
of
you
the way?
absolutely can.
I'm gonna use my reaction to push Minka out of the way.
All right, yeah, no problem. So you shove Minka. Minka, you go prone. This creature turns and attacks instead Ori. Ori, you're taking. Oh, actually. So first, as it looms over you, and you can feel this just vibrating and this slow thrum of energy from within. Can you go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Is it against being charmed, or is it just?
It is not.
Is it a magical effect?
It is not.
Oh, I don't even have that anymore. Why the fuck do I do that? Big saves. Natural 20.
You shrug this off. It is unnerving. This creature is otherworldly, but it does not frighten you.
It's
It
because I was
is,
looking at the
however,
chest
going
for
to
a
take
while.
3 attacks against you. The first one is going to be an 18 to hit.
It hits.
Second is going to be only a 13 to hit,
Miss.
and then a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
that is 2 hits. The first one is only going to do 11 points of bludgeoning damage plus
Plus it gets you.
12 points of necrotic damage. Can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Damn, 2 saves.
Upsetting. Indeed.
Another good save. Let's go, baby.
That's pretty good.
What was that?
15.
15. As this creature touches you, you feel this pulse through your body, and it's like this coldness begins to sink in and leach not just the life from you, but whatever essence binds you to the material plane is just getting pulled away from your body.
like that.
But you resist against this. You do not succumb to the very basic entropy that this creature is subjecting you to, and so you do not succumb to this curse yet.
Oh, good.
But that is the first attack.
Do you want the
second
damage
attack-
from the attacks of opportunity?
Oh, yes, please.
7 bludgeoning from my horns.
Okay, well-
Hit.
You kind of headbutt it and just all over your head. It's not great. And it doesn't deal as much damage as you would hope either.
Yeah, Rez missed.
From the second hit, Ori, that is going to be
There's another hit.
12 points of bludgeoning damage
Yeah.
and
Oh my god.
10 points of the second one, which is the
Doesn't matter. I'm getting the full brunt of either
Necrotic
of them.
damage.
Yeah. Oh, that I have resistance to necrotic damage.
These tendrils just into you, and as they do, body parts just spray across you and fall to the ground, each one kind of striking again and again. No, it's. But that is all that it can do. That is going to bring us to the top of the round, to Billy. Alina, you're on deck. Billy, this creature just goes through you. You cut across it. Valis cuts across it, and it leaves parts behind, but it keeps going.
Billy turns around to follow it and sees that Alina's still standing there. He's like, I said run!
Just intestines in the horns.
Goes after the thing.
Yeah.
She moves her full movement to go behind him. And I get advantage! Yay! Green Flame Blade!
Make it right back.
Another what?
Expo marker hanging out over there. Probably.
18!
18 is a hit.
Thank goodness! All these fucking dice.
You have a lot of dice, but they just keep going back in the bag.
They're so bad. They're misbehaving. So that's 10 points of magical piercing, 5 points of fire, and just to be clear, is there anything around the creature, like chest-wise, that would be caught in the crossfire of a green flame blade?
No.
Cool. Gotta ask.
No, it's a good thing to ask. Anything else, Billy?
Nope.
Alrighty, Billy, you slash across this, and it deals a good amount of damage, but this creature still looms over Minka, unperturbed. Alina, what would you like to do? Rez is on deck.
Rez, go do more bothering. Help out Ori get his hits in. And then just be like, this is the grossest thing we've ever done. I guess so. She's gonna be like, okay, force damage, not so good. Everyone's surrounding it, so I can't use my thing. Okay. And then she's gonna be like, I don't know. Okay, it's worth a try. And so she's gonna come over here.
Okay. Just a quick breakdancing move to get warmed up.
1, 2, 3.
Alina plants their hands on the ground, starts just swirling their legs around.
She's gonna
Goes into a quick windmill. Free action.
Everything is near the chest. I don't like it. Okay. All right, I'm gonna stand here, and she's gonna try out lightning lure. That's cool. And yep, it's a strength saving throw, which I'm sure this guy is very bad at. But
Yeah, it's weak as fuck.
strength save
save?
DC 17.
She's gonna use her reaction to give it a minus d6,
Okay.
which is
Look at
a
him.
minus 4.
And this is a strength save?
Yeah.
It's all water
Okay.
weight.
So it makes a 10, which then goes down to a 6.
Delightful.
As Minka reaches out, and kind of the light from this energy seems to almost make it shy away, still really reeling from that radiant attack. Anything else, Alina?
Yes. Well, I'm going to resolve that attack, so I'm going to pull him in a straight line towards me, up to 10 feet, which gets him right next to me. Which I believe triggers an attack of
It
opportunity
does indeed.
from Ori,
and Minka.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
It's a disadvantage for Minka because you're prone.
Yeah,
love it. And then
I
he's
used
gonna
my
take-
reaction to push Minka out of the way,
True, right.
Oh right.
and then got.
He's
Oh, I
gonna
used my
take
reaction to
2d8 lightning damage. So 11 points of lightning damage.
11 points of lightning damage.
Nice.
Deals the
And-
full amount.
3 bludgeoning.
That is very helpful.
That doesn't, but no, it's magic, so yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Because now I can stay where I am.
Okay. Anything else,
I was
Alina?
trying to get him away from you. Wait, I'm so sorry. So did you say the lightning seemed to deal the full amount of damage?
It did.
All right.
So you throw this lightning lure, this ball of lightning just erupts across the ground and it yanks this creature forwards. That is your turn, Alina. That brings us to Rez. Rez is just like, yeah, I guess. I don't, hey, guy. And he's just like waving around, the wings flap. But that is his turn. Ori, what would you like to do?
Stay out of its range. And bonus action, I'm actually going to use Second Wind and regain some health because I am on death's door. Now I am slightly further away from death's door, but still pretty close. I'm like walking up the front steps. Oh shit! I gave. Fuck. I'm sorry.
Do you give yourself all your health back?
I killed myself. I gave myself damage instead of
If it happens in D&D Beyond, it happens in real life.
So
Not gonna lie, I was very confused. I was like, what do you mean you killed yourself? The second wind doesn't work that way.
I'm gonna
supposed to.
attack it,
Yeah.
and I think it's an advantage from all
Yeah,
of the
correct, yeah.
all the
From
business.
its situation.
There's a lot of business going on right now. Yeah.
Unless I say otherwise,
okay,
Rez is always
that'll
giving
be a
you
hit.
advantage.
Dirty 30.
Yeah. It's a glancing blow.
Dirty
And
30.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my one of my charges,
Okay.
Oh, we charging boys.
which actually that's another D8, not a D6, and it's a sneak attack, so extra damage. I'm not gonna make it to a superiority die though. All right, so that's 11, so 17 magical piercing and 5 fire.
Okay. Anything else?
That is it.
Almost point blank. This is like a perfect shot. You hit it dead center, and this creature just swallows this bolt.
I guess I move back like 5 feet so that I can prop myself up against this table.
Gotcha. Sure. You're just gonna lean up. That is your turn, Ori. That brings us to Minka.
Minka's gonna stand up,
Okay.
and then she's gonna go next to Ori. And she's going to reach out and cast Cure Wounds at a 3rd level, seeing that Ori is like very close to death.
Sounds good, nowadays.
Like a raisin.
So that's
Or like in Hercules when he jumps into the water to go and grab the soul.
Right.
I feel like that
Never a sponsor.
a poop. Okay, so that is a total of 19 points of healing.
Ori, you heal for 10 points.
Oh,
Ripped.
every little bit.
You feel this magic go across Ori. It leaves the same way that it always does. Ori's wounds react weirdly to this. And you watch as the flesh around the elements of his neck and face that were damaged kind of blackens and falls off. But whatever that was seems to be gone now. It just seemed to prevent that little bit of healing.
Okay, I understand what's happening.
Thanks.
And I will then use. So up is half. I had to move 1 to get to Ori.
Yeah, you've moved
Yeah.
20.
So
well,
I'll move my final 2 away from Ori.
towards like the
Ori, attack of opportunity.
Fucking yeah!
And then I'm going
Sneak
to
attack. I missed.
going to shoot it with my bonus action with a
Yeah.
radiant arrow. 17?
17 hits.
All right.
Nice.
So I did not use my arrow enough to remember what the number is. Is it on here?
Yeah.
Did I write it in here? I did. It's D8. Excellent.
Nice.
Ta-da! Not great.
Not
But-
so nice.
That is 7 points of radiant damage.
Hey, that's doubled to 14.
One of bit counts.
I rolled a 2 on the die.
This sinks in, and this creature has a huge blast that has just burst away from it. You can hear more of these goblins just kind of screech out behind. Anything else, Minka?
I am going to. No, that's it. I was gonna taunt it, but then I realized that's like an actual action. So no.
That is your turn, Minka.
Pretty sure you already are.
I mean,
Valus, what would
By
you do?
Pokemon-
It's like
Pokemon
solely
rules,
focused
it's
on you.
certainly-
Yeah.
How glowy is Minka?
Very.
Like, how many feet radius?
Like 15 feet bright, 30 feet dim, right?
I believe.
It might even be bigger than that.
Right. Let me double check because it's.
It might even be like it's something ludicrous for the dim
Yeah,
light, I think.
it's.
It's like 60 feet.
I glow a lot.
Okay. So,
kind of my thing.
is this thing?
In Alberon, a glow up is called a
It
Minka.
is blood by virtue of the fact that it
bloody.
is muscles and
You don't know.
blood.
Bloodied is a Pathfinder thing.
Oh, how hurt does this thing look?
It's hard to tell because it is a massive flesh. Parts of it are all over the floor, but you also watched it suck vitality from the goblin, so it is hard to tell. It's right now looking, I mean, it's smaller than it was for sure.
Okay. All right, I am going to. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and
few.
Grab a bead from my prayer beads.
Okay.
It's gonna be the blue diamond.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take it, crush it in my hand, raise the hand towards the thing, and cast Sunbeam at it.
Okay.
At an upward angle so I don't hit Ori.
So Ori like right across. But yeah, go for it. That is a dex save.
It's a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, so it's 10 foot bright, 10 foot dim.
Okay.
You said con?
Constitution saving throw, yeah.
16.
That makes it. So it looks like I roll.
You roll and it's half damage.
Takes half damage and isn't. Oh, is
Isn't
it?
blinded.
Is it?
Blinded.
It,
Not an
you-
undead or ooze, right?
It is not.
Okay.
And you get the sense that it can't be blinded. Doesn't have any eyes.
Or too many eyes. Either
You
way.
haven't seen any functional eyes. For what it's worth, you haven't seen any eyes. You haven't seen fingers, you've seen intestines, you haven't seen eyes.
All right. So it's gonna take
Setting.
35 halved. So down to 18 radiant.
But it's doubled.
But
so
it's doubled. So now it does 36. It does more
One
damage.
extra damage. No, it
D&D
just deals
math.
the full damage. 35
man.
points of damage.
And now my hand is now glowing in a 30-foot radius in dim light for additional 30 feet.
Very
now I am
nice.
now glowier and shinier than Minka.
So
That's
between
yummy.
both Valis and Minka, the entirety of this space is brighter than most of you have ever seen on Everest. This is like one of the brightest situations that many of you have ever been in. This is
Lily's like squinting.
this is like the inside of a laboratory,
And I'm
basically.
just gonna move a little bit back, like, hopefully just out of full movement range of the thing.
Okay. So how far back are you moving?
Let's see. I will be 45 feet away from it.
Okay, 45 feet away. You rush over, you turn. You can still see everything just illuminated from you and Minka in this space. You hear the goblin shrieking, but that is your turn, Valis.
I think I still have an action because the item
Yes,
was just
bonus action,
I'll just
yeah.
take the dodge action.
Okay, you take the dodge action. Very nice. That brings us to Toes. Toes succeeds in lugging Lodi under this table.
What a champ.
Where's the guy? There we go. Let's get him under there.
Get to the table.
He just goes, come on! And just like drags him underneath. You could hear this dog just, ah! But they're under. That is their turn. That brings us to the Soul Tormentor.
I just like his back. It's a bad back.
The front is
front
so
is
much worse.
worse.
It's so much worse.
I don't know. I've seen the front. The back is bad.
I'm upset that he doesn't need to be anywhere near it. He just kind of like,
Yeah.
Can you pull those three off as well?
yeah.
What about the ward here?
These
good.
two and this guy.
Yeah. So you hear these goblins kind of shriek and then scream out as they have the vitality sucked out of them, and this creature seems to heal a little bit. That is the start of its turn. It is then going to turn around, and as it turns, the legs stay where it is. The whole torso just all the way back.
Ow.
And it is going to. Let's see. It's going to rush towards Ori.
Attack of opportunity.
Oh no!
Yeah, attack of opportunity.
Oh, man.
From both of us. And Raz as well.
17.
That is a hit.
13, and Rez gets a natural 1.
Both of you miss. Rez is just like,
sorry.
I got him, and then it
wait.
just goes like
Not even close to 13. I was doing Eldritch Blast on these.
over him, and Rez
Yeah.
is just left dripping. That is
I thought it was more,
8 points.
but it was less.
At least he didn't get poofed away.
And that's just
Magical piercing.
magical piercing. Okay.
That is a pain in the ass.
That's
right.
doing full damage, I feel, in my heart.
Sure.
Right?
So it rushes away from you, Valis, and this creature. You are sure it's going to follow you, but again, no eyes on this individual, and so it rushes over. The glowing, there is something to that, maybe, but for whatever reason, it's going towards Ori now. And Ori, this creature just looms over. Yeah, that's what it is.
This would now be the 4th time that your vitality
And
is
a
being sucked out
tasty
of you.
soul.
You really are.
It is going to hit you
Did you like
first.
get cursed earlier in your life?
Probably.
Dice.
I don't know.
I think he
Maybe.
stared at
Ori,
the box
that is going to be an 11 to hit.
Miss, thankfully.
That is going to be, for the second one, a 21 to hit.
Yeah.
And the third one is going to be a 17 to hit.
Meets a pizza.
Okay, so for the first one, you are taking 10 points of bludgeoning damage plus.
Please don't pass away right now.
Wow, you're taking real low damage here. 5 points of necrotic damage, and can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Sure.
You just gave yourself 15.
10 plus 5.
Oh, I missed that.
Ooh.
Please don't pass away right now.
So that's gonna be a 3.
It's a 3. As this creature hits you, first of all, you feel whatever that effect was that prevented you from healing just into your body, and then the hairs begin to stand up, and you feel ever so slightly the tips of them begin to dissolve away as you are literally beginning to fall apart. And though it's slow, this is something that you get the sense is not immediately going to stop. But that is the first attack. The second attack is only going to deal 13 points of bludgeoning damage plus 9 points of necrotic damage.
Uncanny dodge, but I'm down anyway.
You uncanny dodge, and another tendril just hits you, and you drop to the ground. That is all that it can do, however. That does bring us to Minka.
Upsetting. Really, truly. I'm gonna shoot with an arrow. That's my
Okay.
bonus action. Yeah.
Make your
Bonus
attack
action,
roll.
shooting with an arrow.
My soul got
It's a
sucked.
total of 19. So that maximum damage.
Maximum damage.
13 points of radiant damage.
That is 26 points of radiant damage. Okay.
And then she is going to charge forward.
Okay.
So she's standing next to the creature, next to Ori. And then she's going to use her Actione to do a first level Cure Wounds with the hope that he's not infernally cursed forever and maybe something will happen. And we'll find out right now. So that is minimum healing for oh wait, I can do this guy as well.
Every little bit
A
counts.
total of 9 points of healing, which may or may not do anything.
Ori, in the darkness of where you are, you wake up, but you do only take half of that healing. So the wounds become dark and black, and there is still something innately wrong with you. That does not fix whatever that is, but you are just barely back up.
Yep. So as
You feel like the healing that you get will continue to be diminished at this point. That does not stop like it did last time.
as my free action, I'm just gonna go, hey, and just kind of like bap it with the shield.
Okay, sure.
It's a tank.
This hay squeaks out from your throat. Yeah, no problem.
Hey!
Okay, there
my
you go.
bonus action, my
That
action,
is
my movement.
that is your turn, Minka. That brings us to Valis, to little guy into toes.
Alright. I think I'm like
45 feet away from
Hard
where
to
it
tell.
was, so I think you're about 60 feet away from the creature.
okay. So I'll move. So now I'm 1, 2, 3.
Did things get wonky? Because I got downed and then...
Minka win.
But it wasn't my turn, it was its turn.
Oh, so yeah, you should have made a death save.
No, it should have been Billy.
He got
and
down on
Minka.
this creature's turn, so it should have gone up to Billy.
'Cause
I
got
see what you're
downed.
saying. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you're right. Okay, yeah,
So we'll
yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
Right.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, that it sucks that the monster has another turn so fast.
Yeah, I was also feeling like that went really quick.
Yeah.
so
Billy.
Slurp backwards time.
Well, no. So what we'll do is we'll
So
just
my
kind of
soul
put
got
Billy. We'll
sucked.
put Minka at the front of this. We'll just kind of flop that for this round. So Billy.
Flippity floppity.
Billy runs forward, continues doing what she's been doing. It's been working.
There you go. You rush forwards with that green flame blade.
Oh, yeah. It looks like you're flanking, in case you're curious.
You are.
Oh!
You look over at Minka with that shield. Is just hey, and that seems to be enough. With
Flanking so much better. 16.
16, that is meets it beats it.
Hey.
No.
It's a spicy meat.
That's 11 points of magical piercing, 4 points of flame, and a bonus action healing word to my scared-looking friend over there. That is 8 points of healing damage to Ori.
4 points of healing damage to Ori.
So that would have brought me back up to 4.
No, Joseph,
But-
Minka's
no,
turn
no,
happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, anything else, Billy?
No, that's everything.
Alrighty. Alina, what would you like to do?
We're doing another lightning lore.
There we go. Throwing it out.
Strength save DC 17, please.
That is 11.
Okay. So I pull him 10 feet closer to me. Boop. And he is within 5 feet of me, so he takes 2d8 lightning.
And also,
damage.
that does provoke attack if they want them from Ori and Minka.
Indeed.
And actually, Toto is at disadvantage from underneath. I'm just gonna swipe.
I'll take it back.
That's a 9, so that's gonna be a miss. But he tried.
All right. So that's gonna be 4 whole points of lightning damage. And can you remind me? Does it appear to do the expected amount or more?
The expected amount.
Okay. And then now that pitiful damage is done, I'm going to skirt around
And this.
onto the other side of Billy and place myself here and be like,
Point of damage.
Very nice.
and then just tell Rez, like, you're doing awesome, dude. I know it doesn't have any eyes. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's so upsetting.
That's your turn?
Yeah.
Rez takes the help action. That brings us to Ori. The way that we'll do this is actually... Okay, so Ori, go ahead, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do for Minka here.
Okay. So I'm now back up, so I can. It's got it. I have advantage, right? Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and.
Do you have to re-insightful?
Do you have advantage on it?
Rez.
Oh, Rez. You have Rez. Yeah. of
Unless
course.
you are told otherwise, Rez is always giving you advantage.
Good boy, Rez.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Nice. That's a 29 to hit.
That hits.
Revenge numbies.
Yeah.
My second charge. Actually, this has never come up, and it's not written in the text of it.
Sure.
When I go down, do the charges go away?
The charges do go away.
Ori, no.
Oh, no.
Ori.
Matt's going down.
Again, Matt is a method actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
His last act will be rolling damage.
Oh no. Beat him up. Damage.
That's
I'll make gravestone. Those are good numbies.
those are pretty good numbers. It's
Numbies brought me here.
It is.
27 points. 5 of which is fire, and the rest is magic piercing. Excuse me.
Oh, I forgot the 3 extra blood. I forgot to report the 3 extra bludgeoning on the last turn.
Okay.
It happened, but I forgot to say it out loud.
Your
No
report has been
worries.
logged.
Well, no, because sometimes when you forget to say stuff, it's too late.
It does, and for what it's worth, I mean, this creature is looking rough.
Yeah.
But
I mean-
not rough enough that 3 matters.
Wasn't it always like
Always,
rough?
yeah. I mean, to Valis' point, it is bloody, technically. That is...
And I'm gonna bonus action hide.
Okay, make your stealth check.
Just by kind of like shriveling up.
Under there with the dog.
Not even under, just kind of like becoming part of the table as I slowly wither away.
Yeah, Eleanor style.
Yeah.
Don't have eyes.
Turn into hide check.
Yeah, but like by the process of me becoming inorganic matter, it's like no
What was your check?
registering. It was 13 on the die, so I believe it's a 22. But let me just double check.
You shrink as much as you can. It's tough because Toes and Little Guy are both under this goblin-sized table, and so you get in and you just hear this. He's just like smushed up against it, but as best you can. That is your turn, Ori.
Yes.
Minka. So we can redo your turn because everything else that happened made the stuff that you did kind of not matter as much. So
Okay.
redo your turn.
I'll take away
That's so
that
nice.
5 HP then.
Okay.
So let me undo that bad boy. So I'm gonna shoot over there.
Yeah, go for it.
That is a 23.
23 hits.
Max damage again.
Hey.
So it's back to
Faded.
13. So 13 points of radiant damage.
Minka, tell us how it happened.
Cool. So after seeing this horrible abomination try to literally remove one of my friends from the plane of existence, Minka's just gonna essentially fire as many arrows as she can in one blast to kind of riddle it with holes in hopes that she can overpower its regeneration.
So you glow brighter than you ever have before, and these points almost multiply until there is a field of stars and a field of arrows behind you, and you just unleash this volley. And all at once, this bright light just goes out as all of this magic is expended into this creature, and it just rips it apart. And with the overwhelming amount of radiant damage, this creature, when the light dies down, is no more. And all that's left of it is a tiny little rat with his bulging brain that then just croaks and rolls over, and the legs just kind of kick up. And because it is 8:46, we're going to step away for a quick break. But you are all out of combat. So thank you for sticking with us so far. We'll be back in just a little bit. There's a timer on your screen. We'll see you then. Ah. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Adventures in Oberon, Courts of Everest.
I was here the whole
You were
time.
here the whole time. We are going to be joined briefly by probably two more people. Probably one more person. But not before we do, but we can just jump right back into D&D. All at once, as the glow from Minka's starlight form goes out, unleashing these arrows into this creature, and this creature dies, all these goblins go from screaming to just and just cuts off, and there is a deafening silence. And all of you are there. You can hear just low growls from Little Guy. What would you like to do?
I still have one at everyone at once, right? I still have Sunbeam running.
You do.
So time is on the clock for me. I'm gonna take some steps forward here.
Sure, yeah.
I'm gonna yell to the group, get away from the chest.
Okay.
First, Sunbeam the hut,
Okay.
and the thing that
You
was
take this and just
Sunbeam the hut.
across
Yeah.
it, sure, no problem. And it just, like, the hides ripple away before they burn and ignite in this radiant flame, and you just sweep it over, and you lay waste to this entire hut. There is a little copper pennant that pops. The opal that's within it just bursts into little shards. You see a little doll burning up. You see a glass bottle crack. You see a bunch of flowers burn up in multiple colors. And then finally, the last thing that you see is a tiny mummified possum, just like the Terminator, just like the mouth just going down in the flames.
And a genie rises and is like, "You have freed me."
And then I also want to Sunbeam the chest.
You
telling
turn
everyone
down
to get away
to
from
this chest.
I get away from it. I do.
Everybody
I book
kind
it
of
so
moving
hard.
over. It really is just Billy who's nearby it.
Oh
so
no, Billy book.
Billy books it. You turn, and with the last bits of this sunbeam, you shine this here. Roll damage on that.
The sunlight shall disinfect this evil.
Yes. I don't know
See, you
why
just
we
need
didn't
to go
do that.
outside and get some sun.
Yeah, vitamin
Uh-oh.
D.
All right, where is the dice? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That right? Let's see. 29 radiant.
29 points of radiant damage. Very nice. So this hits, and in the exact moment that it hits, there is a moment where the light seems to just be swallowed by this lock. The metal glows bright, the entire box shakes, and then there is an explosion of force and fire that is so immense. How much damage does Sunbeam deal? How many D?
68.
68. So you would recognize, Valis, that this deals something like, we'll call it something like 11d8 in terms of damage. It's a massive explosion that ripples through this space.
Its Sunbeam was good
And
of mine.
like for Billy, who was the last person to run away, they get clear from the blow. But Billy, there are little bits of gold that just whiz by you, molten bits that like strike the wall and sizzle and embed themselves into the rock. And then everywhere, as the smoke kind of clears, there are little tiny pinpoints of gold that are like burnt into the stone all around you. Roll a d100.
I feel like we hear a little like gasp of despair from Jesher.
I think it was gold in the chest.
What?
Oh man, so close. 68.
A 68. Okay.
Probably about 68 pieces of melted gold.
Valis, there is one larger chunk that on the floor right up to your feet, and you see the remains, just the very last little bit of what looks like an intricately carved dragon's snout. The teeth, the kind of like lips you can see curled back. There is depth underneath them. This was a beautiful golden statue. And now it is just embedded into so many points of pinpricks of gold that are now cooling within the stone around you.
Alina says, "Great work. We are going now. Do not touch that. We are going."
Great.
Ori?
Or you feel bad.
Alina's gonna do the thing that she often does when Ori is like on dust door. She just does the thing where she throws his arm around her shoulders and is like,
No problem.
Really
Practice.
takes the other one.
let's go.
You lug Ori away. Toes comes out from underneath, bringing a little guy who's much more easygoing now and seems to be a bit more at ease. You recognized before when he was like taught and down the cave, he probably sensed this thing coming and was trying to warn you guys, and you ignored him several times.
We did.
And he ran the other direction when he got too close, and you still ignored him.
Yeah.
But
Sorry, little guy.
for what it's worth, little guy seems to be able to sense creatures like that.
Well, now we know.
So I'll take little guy's leash now,
He can fucking sense
and I'll say to Toes.
little guy.
So we've met our end of the bargain,
Yeah.
and we're a little bit beat. Do we want to take a breather before we?
Nope.
Not
Wait,
here.
not here.
Not
Lead us away from here towards the hag's doors, but if you can find us a place along for us to rest a bit, that would be good.
There's a little cave, for one of you, but you're so close. There's not much space between here and where you want to go.
Let's just go towards where we want to go, and
right.
then just so we're out of this immediate area.
Yeah.
And let's maybe just move as quietly as we can, right? And can anyone help Ori? I mean, look at the guy.
Minka's gonna look at Ori.
I'm looking around. Is there any indication of like this thing just appeared? It didn't like come out of anywhere, right? It just came from there.
Arrived
Yeah,
from.
like it just
Sort of slurped around the corner would be the verb that I would choose, but I think, yeah, it's weird. It definitely, I mean, yeah.
Do we have to keep going? I'm just looking around
Okay.
as
Wanna go
best I
towards the
can.
hag.
For,
You're like blinking in and out of consciousness right now. You're kind of looking around, but no problem.
Does he look diseased or poisoned? The thing that's afflicting him?
Make a medicine check.
I'm going to also assess Ori to see if it's like magical or non-magical in nature.
Make an Arcana check.
An 11.
No.
It's fine. And with an 11, this is something, it's hard to tell. But something is wrong with Ori, for sure.
Okay.
More than usual, yeah.
Alright, I'm going to just try anyways to guess it's a disease and use lay on hands. Let me see if I can help. Use
There's nothing more
and
upsetting
use
than
lay
Max
on hands
dying
and
acting.
cure a disease if it happens to be a disease.
It is not a disease. But let me just take a quick peek at lay on hands.
do I have any idea? Like, I just feel like shit.
Make a
right?
medicine check.
If you're cursed, I got nothing.
Oh,
If it's something else, though, maybe.
I got a
Valis, no effect.
19.
19. You feel wrong. And less wrong, you feel less. You hold out your hand and your hair is still sticking up on end, and still you can swear it's like little molecules are drifting away from your body. You get the sense that your ability to heal is diminished. And whatever this is, it's not a disease. This is much more like a curse.
Let's move.
Let's move. Let's try to be quiet.
Toes kind of scurries ahead, leading you guys.
Does anybody know remove curse? Anyone know it? I wonder if Cheshire knows.
Toes stops for a second and just goes,
The Lord could protect.
We're good.
Is there a way of doing that without feeding Ori to the Lord?
Yes, but we need more meat.
How about
You can't have Ori. His meat belongs to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll need it.
Sir Nuno's has his meat?
just walking.
Wait, what?
Oh, so confusing.
Through the caverns of stone, which are opening up a little bit more, and Billy, for you, it's a little bit of a relief. The walls are further away. You can hold your hands out and not touch on either side. And it's at least 6 or 7 feet tall in most places, and so, good amount of clearance. And there is no stalactites or stalagmites here, although, Minka, you are noticing that as you progress, you are heading slightly uphill, and there is a point where you see like a shelf of very stable stone, and you come again to a place where this seems a lot more like a very collapsible element. And just barely, you feel a almost imperceptible difference to the temperature here and the kind of nature of the air. There is airflow here.
I think we're back in the fog zone.
Okay. Hey, maybe before we go any further, why don't we send Rez a little farther ahead? Ori, I know that's usually your thing, but why don't you just take a breather? Let's send Rez to see what's going out there. Okay, cool. Rez,
Yeah.
go invisible if you aren't already.
He's invisible.
Great. Okay, go out as quietly, as carefully as you can. just go up there into the forest and just take a look around for like, I don't know, 40, 50 feet out. Just see if you can see anything and then just let me know.
To the forest? Yeah. Okay. Kind of flies around the corner. You guys might have some trouble here, but I can go out.
What do you mean?
Come around the corner.
I peek around the corner.
Around the corner, there's just a dead end, and you look up. And though you have gone uphill and you are not as deep as you were still pretty deep underneath ground. And the cavern just goes almost at a right angle straight up. It is not solid stone or dirt. There are kind of big chunks of rock kind of layered against each other. But you do feel a little breeze come from up there. And this does seem to be the way out.
Okay. How narrow is it? Like, is it...
It's about 5 feet across.
A 5 foot square
Are we at the
across?
bottom
Okay.
of a well?
But there are places where it actually gets more narrow, and so you imagine you'll need to squeeze through. There are places where it actually widens up, and at this toe says,
About halfway up, there's a space to rest for one person.
Okay.
So that would be where I would rest.
Okay. Thanks, Toes, buddy. All right, just hold on. Okay, Rez, can you go up the rest of the way? I just want to know what is in the forest around this.
Yeah, no, I got
maybe
you.
maybe it's a well? I don't know. Good idea. Ori, go to sleep,
flies
buddy.
up and up and up.
Climb and get up into there for I just need like 10 minutes.
Just take a second, yeah.
As he flies up. Oh, sure.
Are we in like a single file narrow cave right now? Is that where
It's
we are
not,
right now?
so it's pretty wide, but when you go around this corner, it just stops, and then it is going straight up. And up is very narrow. Where you guys are all standing, you can stand 5 or 6 people across.
Given my
could just sit against the
sense
And rest
of
here?
direction, does this feel like... Am I still following a path that makes sense
Yeah.
within the landscape that I've...
It's hard being beneath ground, but yeah, as far as you know.
Alright. I guess we're moving up then.
I think we should rest here first.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna sit down and start resting.
Yeah. Just for like an hour, right, Ori?
Just...
Toes looks a little nervous, and he says,
The Lord isn't here.
That's
We're
okay.
far away from him.
the Lord's...
He won't protect you here.
You know, you have.
What do you mean
We're
by
not
that?
actually going to sleep. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So no sleeping. Just catch your breath.
I've already been sitting up against the wall for like once a
you
week.
didn't even walk here, you got dragged, yeah.
So we're gonna stay for the full hour?
I mean, it's
I think we should.
yeah, but I want to know what's up there, like right now.
Rez
what I mean?
to the top. And as he's going, he's like, all right, there's a bunch of roots here, and you guys got to be careful. It's dangerous climbing up here. It's loose. And like as he flies, he's not touching anything, but little pebbles and rocks are falling down. He gets up to the top and he goes, oh, all right, well, it's foggy up here. So, I mean, we're here, I guess. This woods, it's denser.
Yeah.
It's a lot denser up here, and it's wet. And it smells not great. Kind of like farts. And there's a bunch of blackbirds and crows and frogs and a worm and an owl, I think.
Okay. Any buildings? Any people?
Make a perception check for Rez.
Okay. Actually, hold on, Rez. You're doing great. But,
You.
hi, I am here with you now, Rez. Can I make the perception check for myself
Yeah.
instead? Ooh, that's a spicy 10.
Okay. A lot of fog.
I should have made it for Rez.
Tastes like mild salsa.
Yeah.
No, turn the head this way. He's like,
it's
you guys are kind of battling for control a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna let Rez take over, but still just stay like behind his eyes.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like,
Did you
all
just
right.
come conscious?
No, I'm always conscious. I just can't see or hear. This is just like a gag. Like, so usually when I do this, and I'll do it now, I just kind of like say out loud what I'm seeing, so that the group can hear me. So I will do that, and I'm just gonna direct Rez. So like, okay, just fly forward. Just fly forward, and if
But there's a worm right here.
look down at the worm, please.
Yeah, look at that little guy.
Is it an actual worm?
Yeah,
Okay. What? Huh?
it's just cool. Sorry.
Okay.
Rez likes worms.
It reminds me a lot of times of the souls that we used to poke. Where are we going?
Let's table that for now. Okay, I want you to just.
like worms.
Did you say there were a lot of birds? Where are the birds?
Yeah, and so you kind of like looking through his eyes, he looks up, and in the trees you see a couple crows, a couple ravens, you see one owl. He was correct about that. A whole bunch of birds, just kind of looking.
Can I look back at where we came out of? Is it a well
It's not. It's just a big
hole in the
like
ground?
crack in the ground, and there are rocks that are kind of like pushed against each other, and it could very easily collapse in and seal this hole. But at the moment, it is just a hole in the ground.
Okay.
Billy, can you get her attention?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you could just poke and I would feel it, but. Ow. What?
Is there anything to tie a rope to up there?
I can't actually hear you.
Oh, that. Sorry.
Billy does the triple tap, which is wait, we need to talk to you.
All right, fine. Just Rez, stay here.
All right.
What?
Anything to tie a rope to? Near the hole?
Is there anything to tie a rope to near the hole?
You and you're like, Rez is just poking the worm again, going, little sinner. He looks around and he like looks over, and you can see there's a number of different stones that are embedded into the dirt that you can definitely put a rope to.
Yeah, sure. Okay. And then I'll just be like, that's a good idea. All right, so I'll have Rez come down, get the end of the rope, bring it up, tie it around the thing, and then we will resume our.
Wait, hold on. Don't tie it now.
What do you mean? Oh.
He's invisible. We're resting. I'm just trying to figure out how we're gonna get out of here, but we shouldn't
yeah.
tie the rope now because then it'll be.
Oh, and I got the bunny ears. Do you want me to keep going? Or?
No. Okay, never mind. Hannah's an idiot. All right, we need to finish. We need to keep doing recon. Okay, we need to know what's out here. So, I'm back in Rez's eyes now. We're just gonna fly forward, and then if you got lost, or if we can't find anything, you'll just bamf back to where I am. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So we're just gonna fly forward, me and Rez.
He flies forwards on these heavy wings. You see the grass very quickly fades into mud and moss. There are toadstools and mushrooms that are kind of immediately begin to pop up in the dirt around. The trees here are more dense, they're smaller, and they are of a different variety than we've seen previously, much more in terms of like pine trees and things like that. A little bit stickier and reedier and much more damp here. You already made a perception check. You don't see a whole lot.
Damn, that's crazy. Okay.
You don't see any lights. Nothing kind of flashing, winking in the distance like you had previously.
Okay.
Seems like
Well,
insane.
a bad perception check is a bad perception check. So I'm gonna be like, all right, well, didn't learn much, but at least we know that we're not like under the hag's house or something like that. So, and we'd be
That would
like,
have been convenient.
Raz, time to bamf back.
Just reappears right next to you.
All right. So Alina's like, I got nothing. It's so hard to see what's going on up there, but I didn't see any hags or any traces of a building or anything. So I think we're okay for the moment.
Toes, when we.
No sleeping. Hey.
I don't sleep ever.
Oh yeah, that's a
For
good point.
one. And for two, I'm trying to say we still presumably have the element of surprise, at least while we're resting down here. So it doesn't really make too much of a difference either way, whether we're looking right now or we're looking in an hour.
I know. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't, under the hag house. It seemed like a cool narrative opportunity, and I wanted to make sure no one was taking it. Never mind.
Toes. You said that you know how to get to the front door of the hags. Do you mean just this well here, or do you mean that if you were to go up, you would know which direction that you could point us in?
I know how to get there. I can point you.
How do you know how to get to the hags?
Well, they live in a place that was important to the Lord a long time ago.
And what is that place?
A rock res.
Is that the thing with the rats?
Do any of you guys speak Draconic? A rock res?
It's the same thing that you said before.
Res kind of looks over and goes, huh? But
Right? Isn't that the thing that you guys said?
He's got infernal. I always mix it up.
The brains.
Which direction is it in once we get to the surface?
Climb up, get to the top, and look for the white stones. In a big line, and follow them, but don't cross them. Don't go across them.
Do the lines make a path like this that you stay in? What do you mean by don't cross them?
Like a wall, but you won't see it until you cross it, and then it burns you. Find a bridge.
We have to go through an illusory
Follow the white
firewall.
wall. Don't cross the white wall.
No.
Follow the white stones, and find the bridge.
Did I see any white stones up there?
no. But you didn't see a whole lot of it.
I know, but new information.
Okay.
We're
I'm gonna go back to bandaging my wounds.
Okay.
So we,
And where
we
exactly-
don't cross the wall, but we cross the bridge?
Yeah,
Cross the bridge, don't go through the wall because it's gonna burn you.
Was there
but cross. Hmm.
You have to
There's
go-
something about the bridge. I don't remember what it is.
Okay, so the bridge is questionable.
Yeah.
Could it be illusory?
Is there something under?
Could it
Sorry, I don't think he knows that word.
be wooden?
Wooden?
I just like shoot up heroin or something. What is happening over there?
Stone.
Stone?
Stone bridge.
Yeah.
Stone bridge.
What else would it be?
Well, stone bridges are generally not something that is very rare, is what I mean.
Hmm.
And yet there is something strange about this stone bridge.
Yeah, it's not going over anything.
Oh. Okay.
Stonebridge, no.
I'm gonna have an
What does
ancient
this
power
Lord of Jaws look like?
Like toes, but big and toothy and rotten.
Rotten?
Yeah.
So, player Matt
Can I make
has
a...
an inkling of what this might be.
Sure.
Does
I-
Ori have any inklings of what this might be?
Make a history check.
Can I also make that check?
Actually, I would say make a history or nature check, your choice. Nature would be at disadvantage, but probably would lead to more direct results. Okay. Valis, go ahead and make a history check flat.
Flat.
14 for history.
Okay.
12.
Okay.
History.
I mean, there's a lot of things that this could describe. The fact that it's rotten, that's not great. Almost in there's no historical context that you could find in which that would be like a positive symbol. And so, that's troubling, but not really sure what you can kind of draw your own conclusions.
Are there things that are still alive? Very positive.
Toes.
Yeah.
So, this Lord of Jaws is,
The Lord.
Does your Lord of Jaws have anything to do with my current state? And
No, the Lord could protect you.
I don't. I appreciate the offer, but I will most likely be inclined to decline that offer.
Then you'll dissolve away.
Toes, do you know what's wrong with Ori?
He's cursed. From the Celloscioscene.
Ah, so you've seen this curse before?
Yeah.
That's the stuff that makes things worse, right?
No, the Celloscioscene takes things and makes them worse. This, he will go away.
Oh no.
And not like Numlock, he won't come back.
Have you, oh. I'm gonna put that aside for a second.
Yeah, he's gonna just ignore that one.
We'll file that away.
Typically, does this tend to take place? One with a similar height and body weight to my own.
You're a lot of kobolds, but, couple days.
Minka, do you know how to, like remove a curse?
I know. No, I don't at all. But we do have people that we know who know things.
Billy, you know people who can take away curses.
Bet you do. Wait,
So?
how about you, Valis? Do you know how to remove a curse?
My magic isn't strong enough to remove a curse.
Well then, if it's alright with all of you, once we have adequately rested, I would like to be moving a bit more hastily, given my current situation.
Mm-hmm. We'll find someone to help. Maybe Jacaranda? Yeah. Okay, but so let's finish up here, and then
Has it almost been an hour?
I mean,
I was wondering why Ori doesn't seem to be feeling any better. Like, a little stronger? No, nothing. Okay.
I mean, I feel like also when I roll hit dice to regain health after this short rest, it's gonna be half. So
Yeah.
so an hour passes. You don't feel great, Ori. You can roll hit dice. You'll regain half the amount that you roll.
I would sing a song of rest for us, however, it's a cave and it echoes.
on my hit dice, 38s, I believe. Oh, but some of them are D10s because I'm multi-classed.
How do you know what the lyrics to the Song of Rest were?
Ori was a bard.
And then
Spent a couple of years in bard
So that's the
school.
real secret. Is he's actually a bard, not a rogue, and he's just like not casting spells for the first 10 levels is his choice.
Alright, that's good. So max for the first.
That's a great concept.
It's halved. The total is halved, correct?
it's the Bardic School committing
Correct.
to the bit.
Yes. Okay, this is good. 2 double. Last one's not as good. Alright. Easy come, easy go. So that's.
Dragon Age Liliana Bard. You don't sing, you don't play instruments.
I'm good to keep going. I'm just rolling my hit dice, so, don't mind me.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything over the course of the short rest?
So Mace doesn't really. So, this is the same like talus structure that we saw earlier.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So there's no real point analyzing the walls. It's more gonna be, and I think if I do any active analyzation, that will cancel out the short rest, right?
It depends on how much you're going to do. I mean, if you're just kind of looking at it and trying to, like, what do you want to do?
I would like to look at the wall and see if there are any safe places to put titans. So to assist us climbing up.
So if instead of taking a short rest, you might be able to make a check and over the course of that rest place enough so that you could assist your party in climbing for sure. That does carry the risks of climbing and ascending as you are doing so, but you can do that. It wouldn't have a rest with you.
Right.
I can fly people up, and Valis, mentioned that we could put a rope. I can just pick people up and fly them up one at a time.
How high is it?
I'm just worried about the
From round to hole?
narrow section.
Yeah. No, I know.
Give me 1 second here.
The more
You
we
did do a
pass through it, the more unstable it's going to
In total, it's about 80 feet.
Can I
Ooh, that is.
look up and see if I can spot any areas that are going to be like more solid and firm?
So Rez told you guys about 40 feet up, there's an area that opens up and it's just like
Right.
one solid kind of cave. Everything else is just boulders stacked on top of each other.
Okay, I meant like more, like hand-holdies that were more secure because he said it was pretty loose.
Yeah.
Or no, Rez said that, so I don't know that.
So I can, instead of resting, I can try to make this safer for us. But
I think you should rest. Am I wrong?
no, I just don't,
I have some pythons. Can I just
rest.
like climb 10 feet, stick a python in?
that would be
climb 10
instead of
feet?
resting, because that's essentially what I would be doing.
Wait, so
I mean, after I
Like
have
after the
rested,
rest.
Yeah, you
just
can.
start doing that.
Yeah, that's the process of climbing. Yeah.
wait, but hold on. Just don't go yet. Billy, you want me to fly you up there so that if anything happens, you're on the better side? Okay.
I want to
Just
say
hold-
something before we go up,
Okay.
Billy. I think we need I've noticed during fights we tend to not focus on the same thing. I think when we fight these hags, it's gonna be really important for us to take one down as fast as possible. Billy, I'm gonna look to you, and whichever one that you're on, I'm gonna try my best to help you bring it down. And I suggest we all try to do the same.
Sounds fair.
Suits me.
Massage the right part of the ego. Well done.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna fly Billy up there, and then anyone else who wants to avoid climbing, I'll fly you too, and we're just gonna make yourself as small as possible.
I'll go last. I have the most tools to get out on my own.
And what I'm gonna do, instead of flying next to each other, because there's that narrow bit, I'm gonna like do a flight handstand, grab Billy's hands, and then just go straight up like that, so it's one person with still.
So you're just gonna deadlift.
I'm gonna
Billy?
deadlift Billy, yeah.
Have you seen the picture of Beyonce?
Yeah.
That's all I'm imagining.
No, I'm upside down lifting.
Oh, okay. I was imagining like still standing
so it's
upright,
more like,
arms down, like just.
No. It's so
I see what
Alina
you're
basically
saying.
doing a handstand,
Yeah.
holding on, and then
Billy starts
Your,
tying a rope.
your legs are leading.
Yes.
Billy starts tying a rope,
Legs leading.
and like hands, like starts tying a rope around Alina too. It's like I would prefer if you
Okay,
would
yeah,
look at where you're going.
Yeah, that would be hard. You can do it.
Okay.
Style.
It seems like
Why
you're
don't
doing
you
things hard, but-
hold my ankles then, so that I just don't want to be too wide instead of one wide.
Yep, but if I had to dangle from a rope,
You want to dangle?
no. But I don't also want to get stuck in the big
Okay.
hole.
Okay.
Be
Okay.
careful with hitting the sides
Yeah.
because it's not very stable.
That's why I kind of
Is
was
this still
thinking.
during
Okay.
the rest, or is this after the rest?
This is now
is
right
after.
at the end of the rest.
Yeah.
You guys are done.
Safety rope.
Okay.
And then
Safety rope and
ankles.
just hold my ankles so that we can. Okay. And then up we go.
Okay, so Python in hand, or you watch as Alina just goes up and like tied
only
to a rope, or no, you're holding onto
Both.
holding
Yeah.
onto both ankles. You
Tail
just go-
tucked as it can be. We're just staying real narrow.
Billy, make an athletics check.
Billy just doesn't have a good grip on the fur and the hooves, and it's a 4.
It's a 4. You have a
Sorry,
great
they're
grip.
sweaty.
You get up about 30 feet, and then you realize that your grip is not so good. 4 is pretty low. And all at once, Billy, you feel like you realize that you're losing your grip, and your hands just burst with sweat with that nervousness. And there's just this little squeak as your hands lose grip on Alina, and you begin to fall. Is anybody doing anything to stop Billy
Billy's
from falling?
attached by rope.
There's a rope.
Oh, there's a rope. That's
That
true.
was
How
it
long
was
is
the
the
safety
rope?
rope. Remember?
How long is the rope?
It's 50 feet tied around both of us, so probably
Right around your waist?
40 feet.
That's bad.
40 feet. So,
Alina.
anybody doing anything?
Tied end to end.
Billy is 30 feet up.
Oh no.
Featherfall.
Featherfall. As a reaction, you cast Featherfall, and Billy, you are like unraveling, and then and just slowly descend until face first, you just land against the ground.
Okay. So
Okay, Boo. You want to try that again?
No.
And now I'm the farthest up.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
go
have you
down.
been climbing this whole time? I didn't realize.
As soon as the short
You
rest
kind of
ended,
go
I
up,
started to.
you like watch this and you're like, okay. You go over to like the corner part of this little hole and you begin to go up the side. And yeah, so make an athletics check. You can make it at advantage as you're using Pythons to do so.
I will be ready for the anyone.
Well, if you cast it,
Why don't we just get you up to that
Take your
shelf
bag
up
of
there
resources
and
and
then
you're
maybe
just ready.
you can vamp yourself.
I was a little too.
Yeah.
Can only
Just-
pamper myself once a day, though.
Okay, I
Seven.
feel like this might be the moment.
Hags.
Or he gets about 20 feet up.
Up to you.
He nails in one of the Pythons about 10 feet, gets another 10 feet, nails another one in. And Ori,
I
as
still
you
feel like I'm
you
most
hit this in,
hungover I've ever been.
the entire rock just cracks like as a sheer face and just falls away. And holding on to like a 60-pound piece of stone, you just tumble 20 feet down.
Can I uncanny dodge the stone to try and like put
Can
myself
the rest
on the
of us
top?
uncanny
Kind
dodge
of
the
can,
stone?
yeah. Nobody's directly beneath Ori at this point. So, Ori, you take
Featherfall.
no damage. You fall, and then
You guys are lucky this is
so
always
strictly
weird.
speaking, very strictly speaking, I'm gonna be very nice. Featherfall does work on Ori. It technically wouldn't work on the stone, and 60 feet of stone and that momentum would technically probably still
But
be
I
good.
flipped myself.
But we'll say with uncanny dodge, you are able to flip yourself over, and though the rock just continues to plummet and slams into the ground.
To pivot myself.
Ori, you pivot back and then just fall to your feet.
Billy grabs Alina's ankles again and says,
Time-
"Yep, no, we're gonna
Time
do
to
that
go.
again."
How about grab me around the waist this time?
Okay.
Toes at this
Pause for a
point just
second.
says,
Hey, do you want me to put those up for you?
Yeah, why are we not just tying a rope to a rock at the
can
top?
climb.
Why
yeah, I forgot
why
about
are we
That would have.
hammering
Yes,
pitons
please
into the
do
weak
that
earth?
for us. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm good at climbing. Hang on.
he takes like the rope and he's like,
You got those things?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, while that's happening,
he
send
scampers
Rez
up and,
with the...
and at a speed that you would imagine he has a 15 climb speed. And
As he starts to leave, I guess guidance on him.
Okay.
I hope he does well.
Thanks.
How long does the feather fall last?
It lasts until you hit the ground.
Oh, so okay.
Hold on. Wait,
do-
Valis is right. Why are we hammering into this?
Why are we hammering into the weak earth when we could just tie the rope to a rock on
Isn't
the
that what
top?
he just
I hand Rez the...
ting, 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 and then from above you just hear,
It's fine. I do this all the time. Shh. Okay. God.
He is a kobold. He does interact with rock quite often. We'll give him a chance, and I have one emergency thing in case he fails.
Okay, fine.
And also the pythons will help us with the rope because just a rope dangling is actually a lot harder to climb than you would think.
That's why I had to
Makes sense.
actually.
7 or 8 minutes goes by. You hear the steady sound of him making progress, pounding his little pythons in, and then he just kind of scampers back down, doesn't even use the rope, and just kind of drops down and goes, ta-da!
Oh, that was very
Thank you,
well done.
Toes.
Are we
Toes,
still
thank
trying to
you.
go up
Yeah.
right
Thanks,
away?
Toes.
No.
All right, onward.
Okay.
I'm still flying, so I guess what I will do since I'm still
Wait.
flying and what?
You're not coming with us.
No.
Do you like
Closer said bye. So I
potatoes?
wanna.
Why?
What?
Do you like potatoes?
What?
Okay. No.
Minka's gonna like go through her thing. She's gonna
Soft
bring
rocks.
out a
That's what you came up for potatoes?
I mean, a potato looks like a soft.
What good is
Looks
soft
like
rock?
it looks like
Well,
a
I
rock,
think they're
but then
mucus,
it's soft
actually.
and you can eat it.
Kind of funny.
Minka's gonna take out her llama-shaped rock and present it to Toes and be like, Toes,
Thank you so much for helping us this whole time. I'm very sorry about your friend. Please take this as a symbol of good luck.
Oh.
He takes this and goes, he holds it and then looks around and picks up a rock and goes,
For good luck.
and puts it in your hands. And he takes it. He holds it very like dearly.
looks like a llama.
And he says,
Well, good luck. It was good meeting you, and I'll tell Numlock everything that we did after.
Thank you.
Right, yeah. All right.
And
We're letting that one lie.
you helped us quite a lot.
Yeah.
You did your Lord well. Thank
The
you.
Lord will protect you, but only down here.
That's fair.
So just be careful up there.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
Thank you, Toes.
Thank you.
Arak Raz is dangerous.
Arakarez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Billy started climbing.
Alina, since she's still flying, is going to spot Billy first, and then secondarily anybody else who she's able to kind of
so
spot.
everybody can make an athletics check at advantage, as you now have the
That was
aid
so
of this
helpful
climbing.
the
I
gear.
first
will
time
go
for
last.
me.
Do I need to make one for spotting purposes, or I'm just flying?
No, you're fine.
Wow,
You guys
that's
should try this. It's really good.
pretty miraculous that those both they were cocked on each other.
Nice. Actually, Vincent did that earlier too. Well, not on top of each other, but he double cocked dice. in the same place.
Ooh, that's much better. Okay, I will not fall this time.
19.
Okay.
Athletics
Billy's that a natural one.
No, but it's 2 5s.
Okay.
I'm spotting.
22.
22.
15.
15.
I'm helping.
Billy just wants to leave the goddamn cave.
Wait, was that with the help? Does she get advantage from help?
She already has
advantage.
advantage.
Roll 2 5.
2 5s.
Oh, Lena, make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Is this against a spell?
It's not. It's against misfortune.
12.
A 12. A 12 is enough to grab Billy as they go. Billy, you slam into the side of the wall.
Ow!
You do take 2 points of bludgeoning damage, and the wall shifts. There is a loud and you can hear it just echo down the whole cave. Dirt shifts and tumbles down, but there is no further movement.
At that, I'm going to pick Billy up, armor and just fly her up.
Okay. You fly Billy up.
Yeah. No climbing. No more climbing.
Everybody else, I believe. Valis, what did you do for this?
15.
15? Everybody else makes this without issue.
We bested the hole.
You bested.
Not something we are known for,
So
honestly.
Mika's going up
You
last.
said it, and you were like, "Wait," but I've started saying it. I need to finish.
As Mika goes up, she's gonna see if she's gonna gently pull on the pythons
Okay.
to see how does it come out relatively easily, or is it really in there?
It's really in there.
Okay, she's
Yeah.
not gonna try to remove them. If
Okay,
she goes
that's
up
probably a good idea thinking about this. Toe's really good at climbing, really good at all this, and seems like very comfortable in these caves. Make an insight check.
That is a 21.
As you guys are so wont to not do, you didn't really examine the roof of these caves as you had been following Toes. You recognize that he had gotten lost earlier on this single stretch. It's likely that the kobolds have vertical shafts that are dug in many of these places, and so that's probably why he was lost. Kind of striking you now. I mean, he was walking along the horizontal thing, but he dropped down from the ceiling with Numlock. They climb, that's their thing. And so all of that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, you leave them behind, and you all make your way up to the top. You leave those pythons where they are, and so for what it's worth, those are still available to you all should you need them. But you make your way up to the top, and one by one you pop up into the kind of fog, very similar to what it was like before, and the ground a little bit more damp. You see toadstools that are kind of popping up here and there. But what would you all like to do?
Billy's gonna look around for those white rocks. One track mind.
Make a perception check.
Guidance.
With guidance.
My old
Looking
perception check
Around
still.
for anything, really.
Sure.
Just
My
for
old
that.
perception check still in effect.
No, you can make another one.
Hell
Any
yeah.
sign of
D4 for
a
guidance?
direction that seems most. Because
Make a survival check.
well, specifically white stones.
So make a perception check.
Well, because he said to look for the white
Yeah,
stones.
yeah,
Follow
yeah.
white stones.
What I'm
Yeah.
doing. 22.
22.
I got it.
With a 22, you look. And Billy, you look better than all the rest. With your eyes, you can see these very pale in the distance, kind of almost hard to tell if they're actually stones, but you do see white shapes that are about 2 feet tall, maybe 30 feet away from each other in the distance. With the fog such that it is, you can't really see further than that, but there's at least 2 of them.
Billy, is one closer to us than the other?
No, so
They're equidistant.
yeah.
So Billy wouldn't know whether to go left or right. Alright. Billy points out one of the rocks and we should go over towards that one and see if there's another one along the way.
I thought it was 2 rows forming a
No, it
path.
was one wall.
So we cannot cross.
Well, Toe suggested that you don't.
He
said
said
it
that
hurt.
it would be very painful.
So
Something about burning.
Billy's gonna lead the group forward towards one of the rocks to see if there's a rock that way.
Oh, I get it. To see which
Yeah.
way the line that is
Yeah.
created.
So
by
you
2
walk
of them.
closer, and your vision kind of clears forwards as you move, and you can see as you get a little bit closer and a little bit closer, another one looms off in the distance.
So it seems like we are headed
That
towards
way.
potentially one end.
You can go to the left or the right, and you are walking along this kind of wall. You haven't done anything to really ascertain which way might be a better way to go.
Maybe
If
I'll
we-
send Rez one way and
Might save us some time.
Can you send him high up and get a vantage point?
From
And
where we
see
are now,
what
do I see
Lies in these 2 directions?
anything
Oh wait,
like
didn't Toes say something about
we're looking
the
for a
rocks
bridge.
having a sign
don't
on
see
them?
anything.
I look at the rock to see if there's anything on the rock.
Sorry, what are you
Sorry.
looking for?
Go ahead.
sign. He's
A sign.
I thought that I just remembered Toes mentioning that it was something on the rock, written. but I might be misremembering.
Maybe misremembering.
Okay.
There's something about the rocks for sure. That's what he said, but I don't think he said that there was anything written on them
He said
necessarily.
that the bridge went to nowhere. There was something strange about the bridge. It was that it went to nowhere, and that there were white rocks that we had to follow.
All right. I'm
And
sending
and
Rez.
we've met the white rocks.
I'm sending Rez straight up to see if he can get a sense of, get a vantage point and see which things go where, and then, well, yeah, I'll
Okay, no
I'll
problem.
just go into Res vision mode. Put my Res goggles on.
You put your res goggles on, you fly up into the air, and you kind of burst up through elements of this fog. And at first, it's a little different. Here, res explodes into this kind of clear air, but it's only a pocket of it. If you've ever been in a plane that's flying through banks of clouds, it's kind of like that. There are edges to this fog that kind of form these rough shapes, and res is just immediately kind of like, whoa. But he glances out, and as his eyes adjust, there is movement within this fog in various places. Looking down, you can see a swirl all around where the party is. Still the movement of air, like just kind of coming to a stop. Off in the distance, maybe 100 feet ahead of you guys, it seems like there's something moving as well. Something a little bit larger than any of you. And then about 100 feet, 120 feet off to the east, you can see what looks like elements of some kind of stone statue, perhaps.
Okay. Anything to the west?
Rez turns and kind of flaps a little bit further west, and there are a few trees that poke out here and there from the fog, but nothing else.
Okay. So there's a landmark that away.
Correct.
And maybe a weird landmark. All right.
Do the rocks go east to west or north to south?
They go east to west.
Okay.
All right. So we come back, and I report on the something large to the south, I guess.
To the north.
To the
The statues to the north?
Sorry,
Yeah, there you go.
I'm thinking. Yes.
We still don't know.
The
which-
statue is to the east. There is a something to the north that I would not like to meet. Seems big.
We are also not supposed to cross the stones.
Yeah.
We're supposed to follow them.
Are we south of the stones right now?
Yes.
Okay.
So, time to turn east and make our way toward. Could I get any better glimpse of like what that statue is, other than like it looks like a statue?
I would say
Was it made of white stone?
it was made of white stone. It does seem to be vaguely humanoid, but from that distance, I would say probably not any more details than that.
Maybe that's the rock Wes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's as good a direction to. I mean, I think it's the only option because I didn't really see anything to the west. So.
Oh, can you paint a better picture of like two white stones in front of us, right?
So each white stone, about 2 feet tall. And now that you're getting a little bit closer, you recognize, perhaps, make a nature check.
7.
It's a very peculiar looking stone. It's smooth in a way that you're not really familiar with. It's not marble, but aside from that, not really able to tell very much. About 2 feet tall, pretty smooth, pretty kind of round at the top. And the other one is relatively identical, not exactly, but similar form, similar shape.
I will investigate the stone.
I was gonna say.
Cool rock check.
What do your rock eyes tell
Hard
you?
to tell.
Nature, right?
Yeah.
15.
With a 15, these aren't rocks. This is similar to bone. It's not quite, but very similar.
This is not a rock.
The closest thing that you can think of, actually, would be perhaps like an elephant's tusk.
Oh, that's large. Oh, like teeth?
Or a spine.
Oh, okay, so these aren't rocks. They are bone-like.
Also, out of curiosity, did you leave a little guy behind, or are you guys taking him with you?
We always
Oh,
take him with us.
He's with us.
With you?
Yeah.
Okay.
How dare you?
I mean, you didn't say anything, so I'm double checking for that reason.
He's part of the party.
Okay.
That would be like leaving Rez behind or Ori.
So we should follow the trail of not rocks.
But it's
One other thing occurs to me.
Like,
We don't have a protector anymore.
follow the trail of knot rocks?
Unimportant. We are missing someone we traveled here with. Someone who has been very helpful. We are weaker for it.
I miss Oakremain.
Yes, that's I did mean Oakremain. Just checking.
This Chester's not here either. I got confused.
Chester's around. She's always around.
I know. I just. Okay.
So we'll be extra careful. We'll follow the rules as best we can. Because we don't want to be... So, if these are not rocks, they're bone-like, and this is probably related to the dragon that may or may not be undead, we'll just be extra careful. And maybe not touch them.
Do they seem like they're curved or facing in a particular way, or are they just kind of like...
They do seem a little bit curved. If looking at the shape of these kind of rocks, it looks almost like the wind has been blown against them, and so they're smooth and rounded kind of towards you, for what that's worth.
So, like, if we are standing here, the rocks are curved up over us, or like...
Kind of like away, like swept away from you.
So, towards the north.
Correct.
That's less helpful than Billy's.
So we go
Yeah.
walk up to them and go left and start.
No,
No, we're going
Turn right.
east. Turn right.
Right, towards the
East is to
statue.
the right, yeah.
Yeah. That was what my problem was.
No worries, no worries.
Billy starts heading towards the east.
Okay.
Does she see another one of those?
You walk about 15 feet before one looms out of the mist, and you're following this path.
Yep.
Yep. Time to go. Let's go.
Do you think dragons would have teeth this big?
You walk and you walk, and if these are dragon's teeth, this dragon, I mean, you're walking along its lower mouth for over 100 feet.
Yeah.
For what that's worth.
Does this remind Ori of the battlefield to the north of Lake Tarkana at all?
Fields of Folly?
The Fields of Folly.
Make an intelligence check.
That's a great question.
That's a really good question.
16?
Oh.
So, both of these places are places that are really kind of different. They're infused with something from beyond. And while they're not the same, they're not like related perhaps, each of these places is kind of in and of themselves almost like a demi-domain. And a couple of things that occur to you with that. First of all, if that's the case, almost always within that kind of a region, there are like specific rules and things like that you can kind of follow or draw some conclusions from. Let's see. With that check, though, hard to tell what those might be, and hard to tell, what similarities there might be beyond that. But it's an interesting question, and you get the sense that there is something to that, for sure.
So then, given all that, Ori's thinking like, okay, so at least one rule is don't go over the rocks and find the bridge and go over the bridge, but it's a bridge to nowhere. So that's the best that they've got to work with. So gonna continue doing that and looking for the rocks to follow. The knot rocks.
So, Billy, you lead the group through the woods and follow these stones, or these not stones, depending on who you ask. And after about 90 feet, you see not a rock loom out of the darkness, but a stone element of a wall of some kind, and then it is a stone path beyond that, and then another wall, and you recognize you're looking at the beginnings of a bridge. And it is just flat against the ground, but it crosses between two stones.
Here it is.
Oh.
So like to the north side of the stones, like you'd have to walk between.
The bridge crosses between two stones.
So like north-south.
Would a visual perspective be helpful?
Yes.
It's almost like okay. What do we think? Do we think it's gonna be some sort of like troll underneath the bridge that pops out of the earth and just destroys us?
It's gonna be,
Or maybe it's a troll above the bridge.
The drop troll.
yes, the Australian drop trolls.
I'd offer to. No, we're not allowed back there.
So, worried about the fact these aren't rocks, but are instead more bone-like, especially for their size and frequency. Normally, if this is going to be anything like Alana thinks magic works, that's like some deep shit.
Yeah.
Or it's a very, very long dead skeleton of some kind of dragon, and it's the spine.
But like, if this is like a dragon, but what if it's like a barrier to keep things out? He said it was a holy place.
A holy place for a rotten Lord of Jaws.
He might not have always been rotten.
Probably because
Sounds like there's some sort of power struggle between the dragon and the hags, right?
turn up.
Toes did say that the hags took this place from the dragon.
Yeah, maybe something happened in that turned him rotten.
Like an ancient, something ancient happened.
Yeah.
And we're, like, there's all these instances of, like, this super ancient, like, not magic, like, I think all of this went down, like,
a long time ago.
very, very anciently, and we're just treading on the
Almost had a robot
bones.
from Starfinder join you.
Oh man, this is help.
Yeah, I know.
Ha.
So at the moment, and that tree's not falling down. Let's just pop that guy back up. And I apologize again. I didn't get to finish painting the bridge.
Oh my god.
This is what you see. Stones that are spaced fairly evenly across. They're not squares like this. They are that shape that I described. But I don't have any large pieces of ivory or bone.
And which side are we on? Over here, where Alana's putting us?
You are on the side that seems to have a lot of like pine trees. So yeah, where Ori is.
Okay. All right.
We've been walking this way.
Yes.
Yeah. Alina's gonna be like, "Hey, should we just send Raz across the bridge and see what happens?"
I don't think that's going to work. There's something strange about this place.
Yeah, but if we send
Alina,
Bless you.
because you had actually seen these from above, they're taller than this and they're
Alright.
shaped like this. But they're statues.
Okay. One
And they're facing away from us.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
You see kind of humanoid shapes, vague. They look like they're draped in cloth, but it is just very well carved marble that is kind of worn with time. You can't see faces because they're turned away from you. You don't see hands or arms or any kind of iconography, just backs, shoulders, and the sort of silhouette of a head.
So they are marble. They're not the other strange not rock.
They're not the strange not rock. They might or might not be marble.
They appear to be okay.
They appear to be actual
They're
stone.
a different material, but we're not sure what the material is.
Correct.
Okay.
This seems like we're coming from inside. This is like the gate. We're on the inside, and this is the gate. Does that make sense? Because the front door of the forest.
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes
Billy, make a perception check.
While we're standing here, given the very little instruction that Toes gave us, he said get to here and then cross the bridge, but don't cross the stones.
Yeah.
He said he'd take us to the front door of the hags.
How do you
Oh no.
God damn it.
Okay.
So he may have done that literally, but we may be on the inside of the front door.
I think we're inside. Yeah, the statues tend to see the front of statues when you approach the door of something. This is the door. Sorry, whoever's listening. I just hit the mic.
You said you saw something to the north that was big?
Yeah, but we've walked a fair ways
This
now.
is the north, right?
Yeah.
Now that we're here, can I orient at least, like, we're back in the same forest.
Yeah.
Can I orient, have we gone, like, northwest of where we started?
So you don't have any visual points
Right.
or like, and you've been underground.
Right,
So
that's why I'm wondering, like, based on just my ability to maintain, like, a sort of...
you've gone
natural
roughly
position.
in the direction that you imagine you've gone in. It's hard to really
yeah,
be sure.
Yeah.
When we followed the stone wall, did it look like, was it a straight line, or after following for a while, did it feel like it was concaving in?
It felt pretty straight, and it's only about 100 feet. So you guys came from like probably right about here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so from when we saw a something to the north from up above, it's if we've only been 100 feet,
It's
that's
probably right about like over there.
It's like over there. Okay, so, so Alina's gonna be like the something to the north that
I'm crossing the
Res-
bridge.
I was gonna say Billy would have like.
Let's cross together.
Billy would have started heading forward.
I am always like on Billy's heels no matter what. So as Billy walks, Alina's like, oh well, there's something to the north
Like,
that I
that's
saw.
the
And
most.
this
We got rules to follow. If that's the rule that he said to
That
follow.
makes sense. So you watch Ori just turns and starts walking. He takes a couple breaths and
So before Pika crosses the bridge, she wants to look around and see if there are any birds.
sure, make a perception check. You kind of take a second to lag behind looking around.
15?
You would be forgiven for imagining that there's none because it's pretty quiet here. But you look around, and there's dozens. Crows, ravens, not birds known for being quiet. And they're just watching.
Yes. Yeah.
Ori kind of shuffles across the bridge.
A lot of birds.
Or you pass between these two figures. Can you make a strength saving throw, please?
God damn it. Numlock or toes, you motherfucker.
I was going to say, Numblock is liquid.
He did say that there was something weird about the bridge. And he couldn't remember what it was.
he said there was something weird and he
10.
couldn't remember.
He gets +3.
Ori,
Oh, I get +3. 13.
that is enough.
Hey,
You are shunted 15 feet back. So as you cross between, it is like you step into elastic air and then you are shunted. You do not fall prone. You do not take any damage. But you scrape to a stop on the stone.
what the fuck?
So, if I like stick my hand out, do I meet resistance?
No.
Did the birds react at all?
I mean, they kind of turn their heads to watch get to that point, but no.
Billy draws her sword and sticks it forward.
You stick it forward. And it goes forward.
Just keeps walking after it.
Okay. You walk after it. You walk after it. You walk after it. You pass between these two figures. Make a strength saving throw, please.
Maybe if we walk through it hard enough.
Maybe if we walk through it hard enough, because that's a natural 20.
Let's go.
With a natural 20, you feel the elastic air and time slows down for a second. You look up, you feel your toes scraping on the stone, and you realize you're about to go back. But your eyes are transfixed because forwards, looking at you from up in one of these trees, there is a big black crow, but you can't help but feel like you are looking at a dog, and it looks straight at you, and you hear in your mind, "Come home, Billy." And because it is 10 o'clock, this is where we're going to end for this evening. But thank you for sticking with us for this session of Courts of Everest. We'll be back next week. If you can't wait that long, this will re-air along with Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign, over on YouTube at Alberon RPG. But please stay safe. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.